Fantastic.
Every one of our videos is going to start with us giggling because we'll never get over that.
I was just thinking about that.
Yep.
I think it's really charming.
I think it's really charming as well. Oh, it'll be
Hi,
fun.
Craig.
It's like every time we
Thanks,
look back,
Craig.
we're going to be like, oh, look how much fun we're having.
So you probably will all remember the amount of trauma that we were in the when we left off.
Yay!
No one was happy.
Nope.
Nope.
JD, are you going to put your headphones on?
Oh, that's a good idea. Sorry.
I can't. I can't hear myself talking and survive.
That's too weird, huh?
Yeah, it's really fucking with my brain.
Sorry about that. I totally forgot that I didn't have headphones on.
There we go. That's a lot better.
Okay. Do I sound okay? Am I free
You
to
sound
play?
great.
Okay. Good.
So you had just solved a medical mystery that started tormenting the crew this morning, and now we're at afternoon. Figured things out. I wrote a really silly medical report with all of the ridiculous details about this thing, so I know just how it works now. What's that?
I liked it.
Oh shit! Actually, where did you put that? In resources or communicates?
Oh,
You didn't put it anywhere.
no, I actually put it in the docket, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, crew docket.
Yeah, there it is. I just want to have that open.
So that is information that Uhen+Kotri found that helped break down exactly what you're up against, what you can expect, knowing that this airborne spore affects different races differently. So you have a lot to prepare for. I'm going to start us off. What's that?
Oh, I was just going to... sorry, I was going to start. But go ahead.
You were going to start what?
Oh, I was going to read a couple of the important bits in that journal. But that could be part of the scene. Depending on where you're gonna...
let me get through the first scene, because I'm going to take us out of the med lab first.
Sounds good.
And then, I would appreciate that if once we get to that spot.
Cool.
So it is now afternoon, and I'm going to start us off with Captain's Log, Stardate 54053.6. Only 3 days into our tour, and the Sagan is dealing with an outbreak of a fungal spore known as Aspergillus azulosis. Our telepathic and empathic crew members are being affected and projecting hallucinations of fear and trauma into the minds of others. Dr. Uhen is currently synthesizing an inoculant and deciding how to deal with the patients who have the potential to become emotionally volatile. The doctor informs me that we can expect at least 5 hours until the inoculant gets all the infection symptoms under control. The ship remains at yellow alert until all signs of hallucinations subside. And then I need a drink of water.
I am 100% imagining Captain saying that.
She forgot to turn off the recording.
Yeah.
Recorded her own self-talking to dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Momentum. We currently have 1 momentum.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm actually going to be starting in the engineering lab where Chuck and Naja are working their first shift together. They did a lot of prep work before arriving on the Sagan. Be ready to perform experiments together in the med lab or in the engineering lab, and also for Chuck to assist in engineering after a time. But didn't really expect that this would be the sort of thing that they would be working with in the engineering lab immediately. because they did receive contact from the captain, who checked in with Nadja to see if everything was under control functionally on the ship, and confirming that these were in fact hallucinations. And then also the captain let the entire crew know that hallucinations were taking place, and that the crew needs to be prepared to overcome the instinct of fear that's produced by these hallucinations.
Right.
So it's Nadja's a little bit feeling a little bit tense, but now settling in to the fact that they're putting aside the research that they were just settling into setting up, and instead having to consider what their next move is to deal with inoculating the ship's ventilation system, so that there's not another outbreak of this, because the documentation does show that that it is possible to get a second infection even after being treated.
Yep.
So I'm going to go to Nadja and Chuck. And just after we got word from the doctor and the captain about what we need to put aside our current work and focus on.
This is really important, isn't it, Nadja?
Yeah, it is. And not what I
scared?
expected. I mean, no. You have to remember that none of it's real, and sure, I would react with fear if I didn't have warning in advance, but I think I'll be okay.
You still seem really nervous to me, though. I've seen you nervous before. I know how to see it now. I can't
too
have
smart for my
hallucinations.
own good, Chuck.
I'm supposed to be perceptive.
She gives a rueful little chuckle.
Chuck beams at her, very proud.
Well, maybe no hula. Just let's. Gosh, what do I do first? Well, we can dedicate one of these biogel units here to do some experimenting. I'm really worried about what might happen. The spore getting into our ventilation system and reaching the gel. I mean, it's supposed to only be on plants, I guess, but I'm nervous about that.
You said that it's supposed to be, it impacts life forms differently, right?
Yes, it does.
And we don't know what it will do if it impacts biogel.
Exactly. I mean, apparently it doesn't affect, people without telepathy, at least, making them crazy or project anything. But it's one of those things that you never know what's going to happen with biogel when it gets introduced to a new substance.
Yeah, we never know. It's new. It's exciting.
Nadja has this realization in her head. She falls quite extreme.
You thought of something. I see it right there on your face. What did you think of?
It's not important right now. It's not important.
Why?
And as she is thinking about what to say next, this sound appears around you. And Chuck, from your point of view, what you see is very strange and disconcerting. The space around you seems to light up like orange, but and it's this orange and yellow that's like moving up from the floor, but it's really pixelated. Like it's like it's not quite processing. It's not. You can't render into your vision all the way. And there's something in your senses that's a vague discomfort, really hard to place. But beside you, Naja screams. She goes, "Oh my fuck!"
Naja? What's happening?
And now I have to roll
this
to
normal?
see if she makes this.
I don't know if this is normal. We never simulated anything like this back on the station.
He's so chill about it.
I know. He's curious. He has no idea what's happening.
It's like,
he
why
doesn't
should
know
I
if
be
he's supposed to
scared
be
of
afraid
this?
or not.
Ooh. Not great.
Is this a hallucination? I didn't think I was supposed to have those.
You hear that? You say that? And she's like shaking and like trying to, she's clearly like trying to get herself under control. She's like, then she freezes when you say that. And she looks at you and she says, "You see this?
See what? The orange?
The fire."
Oh. I that doesn't look like fire to me, Naja. It's all pixelated. You can't really see it at all. I see it, but I don't see fire. I think you might be having a hallucination.
I think you might be having a hallucination.
Why me? You're the one who sees fire. I see orange pixels.
I mean, what does fire look like if the orange pixels are still like, oh, you guys are now having a conversation in a, like the whole room in Naja's vision looks like it's on fire, but this conversation has distracted her enough that she no longer cares.
Chuck just picks up the nearest coffee cup and goes, "This is fine."
This is fine. That's exactly what Chuck is doing. He
knows the elder memes.
The elder memes.
The elder. So Chuck at this point, he's moving around and he's touching the orange pixels wherever they are. And he's like testing, he's like the way that he's able to test the world is through like touch and feeling and smelling and seeing right now. And seeing isn't really working, so he's gonna touch it and like try to figure out, like is this a real thing?
When he touches it, it gives the effect, but in pixelation, like a JPEG that only got to the first stage of loading in 1998. But Jack thinks that's really funny.
I understand this too.
But when you like wave your hand, it gives the same effect that like if you were to put your hand over a candle and like it waves, or even if you put your hand through a fire, you will hurt yourself, but it also reacts, it has its own dynamics, like fire dynamics, but fluid dynamics, but with fire.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's clear enough now that he knows what Naja's seeing that it's recognizable if he was to squint.
Okay. He squints and he touches it and he looks up at Naja and he says, "I don't think it's loading all the way. I think it's trying really hard." But I'm pretty sure that this is a hallucination, I think. But that's weird though, because if it was a hallucination, I don't think I should be seeing it. But maybe it's being projected. Maybe the ship is sick. Have we checked the biogels?
Or maybe you're alive enough to telepathic projections.
Am I? I'm not supposed to be telepathic. Did
No,
they
it's
put that in me?
It's not. It's the telepathic people that are in the med bay right now. They're
Yeah.
the sick ones. I'm not sick, but the people who are sick are putting thoughts into my mind and to your mind.
Oh.
So that means your mind is close enough to mine that you're receiving telepathic projections, that your brain is compatible with telepathy.
That's really cool. We should write that down.
I think I'll
big,
remember.
isn't it?
I think I'll remember that detail.
All right.
This is big news.
This is big news.
Still fire, just flickering everywhere.
Just flickering. Chuck is definitely playing with it at this point. He's like trying to find out like different ways that he can interact with it, very much like a child who's figured out like a light show or something to play with. It's kind of like like the sprinklers outside.
Yeah,
like
that was my thought. You're a Bay Area person. Did you ever go to Marine World?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
When younger, and they had those bouncing fountains.
Oh god, I loved those things. That was my favorite thing as a kid.
That's totally the reaction that I imagine.
That's exactly what Chuck is doing. He's like bouncing around and he's playing with the fire.
And it definitely acts like fire in a really weird way. It, reacts to his movement the way that fire would to if you were fanning it with, causing it to move around him. It's really kind of weird, but he's him, so he probably doesn't realize how weird it is.
Nope.
Does he register any change in temperature? Can he feel the fire?
So what he is feeling as far as heat and what Naja is feeling much more discomfort than him, but it's this very kind of amorphous, like your brain knows this is supposed to hurt, but it can't quite produce actual pain.
Okay.
Like it's almost your brain is tricking itself into thinking that there's pain there, but there's not pain there. But Chuck's experience is a little more different than that.
Yeah.
Chuck is going to find like the biggest like pile of orange half formed fire, and he's gonna stick himself in it, and he's gonna go, "Oh, what a world! And he's gonna sink down to the ground and like roll around in it. He's gonna have a good time with this.
Word. There's no way to make a fire seem less scary than that.
Naja is no longer afraid of this fire. Especially because she actually gets to see it in realness.
Chuck gets up and he laughs and he runs around and plays some more with it. Naja, look, we can pretend. We can play pretend right now.
This is grim.
Why? Nobody's in danger.
Yeah, I guess
it's just pretend.
What her curiosity in the Chuck project overcomes her hesitation, and she goes, "What do we pretend in the fire?"
Well, I'm trying to think of movies that have fire in it. I can be like Calcifer.
Oh,
may all your bacon burn. We can make bacon.
Only if it's hallucinated bacon, though.
Only hallucinated bacon, but we can pretend that the bacon's here.
Okay.
Maybe if you act really scared of the bacon.
Like in my head, I'm like, somebody would have to have a fear of bacon for that to happen. Yes. And that's amazing. All those nitrates.
Chuck is having a grand old time.
So I think actually I'll cut out of there with Chuck playing in the fire. And nodded,
you
very
started
distracted.
Are there any other engineers in there with you? Is there anyone else watching this?
Just all of them like, what the?
It's actually just the two of them for now in there. But, who knows? Maybe when I cut back to this, who knows what's going to be.
There you
go.
Okay, so now I'm going to cut over to the med bay.
Oh boy.
And in the med bay, you have no momentum.
By momentum.
But you can give me threat in place of momentum. Don't forget that.
Sounds like a very monkey's paw sort of a situation.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good way to describe that, actually. So in the med bay currently, Ensign Patel has been dismissed because they figured things out and he doesn't need to be around there anymore. He was told to take the rest of the shift off and recover from that.
Go relax and don't think about all the things you're most scared of.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if he thinks about the things that he's scared of. Maybe he'll psych himself out. But
he's just a regular old human.
Yeah.
Currently in the med bay as patients are the 9 members on the crew who have the capacity for telepathic activity. The 4 named crew members have the highest possibility for telepathy, whereas the other 5 are half-blooded, or they know that they have some telepathic blood in their lineage, or they just it's enough that they showed up because they started getting a headache at this point.
Yeah.
Jarit is also there. He came over for the emergency, which makes a lot of sense given its nature. He should be prepared to get his therapizing on.
I was going to say that if it makes sense to you, Jarit would want to sort of set up a like a psychiatric triage center somewhere, maybe in the mess hall or something, like to be there for if anybody has been particularly badly affected by this or just wants somebody to talk to. He wants to kind of like set up shop in some common area where he could be available to anyone who needs him.
Well, hang on to that thought.
Okay.
I'm going to set up the scene, and then what you want to do is discuss that with your peers, because
cool.
You and Uhen should be working on this together. Like, you should be in the loop. You should have been given the documentation about what's going on, so that Del and Uhen and Kotri and the captain and Thenar and T'ira all have been given this report to read.
Okay, cool.
Those are people in command or relevant to the situation.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. I gotta get my thoughts back on track. Okay. So it's been, a few minutes as everybody is getting their reporting to the med bay. And by this time, it's clear to the patients that they're starting to feel the effects of this infection. They're starting to feel headachy, starting to feel anxiety, just a sense of real discomfort. Theonar's experience is less emotional than some of the people present. His composure's pretty good, but his telepathic activity is off the charts. He was already a very strong telepath.
Yeah.
He's feeling kind of raw, like everything around him is so loud, and there's all these patients around him that are feeling intense fear that is building, and he has to suffer through that.
Yeah, he can feel all of that. It's like he's at a heavy metal rock concert for telepaths.
Yes.
Oh no.
You're starting to feel almost like there's this telepathic feedback loop happening with
oh god,
all of these anxious telepaths sharing a space and hearing each other and feeling each other's anxiety.
Oh my god. Yeah. Theonar is just gonna get like really, really, really uncharacteristically like more quiet than he already is. And he's going to stand himself in a corner. Just remove himself from this situation and try to be as quiet and as calm as possible.
So
and make it look like he's not actually suffering. He doesn't want anybody to see.
He's a strong boy.
Strong boy.
He's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
What we'll be doing in a moment is rolling for everybody. Basically, constitution check for all intents and purposes.
Oh boy.
What is plaguing T'ira is far more emotional. It's you're feeling just this discomfort and this anxiety that's niggling at the back of your thoughts, and like your mind is trying to betray you by bringing up uncomfortable feelings and uncomfortable memories. Like it's just taunting you into feeling the worst kind of feeling and the strong feeling that you're very good at having a balance with. You're able to feel things, and you're able to maintain a sanity and balance your human side with your Vulcan side. But your Vulcan side in this moment is really starting to assert itself in its worst way.
Okay.
So right now, I'm going to have both you two roll, and it's going to be take this roll actually. There's so many things I could make this.
The power. Unlimited power.
It's gonna be different for each of these characters. So I'm gonna start with T'ira. T'ira, the difficulty of your roll is going to be a 3.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna say for you, you can choose between control or reason, and you can choose between science and command.
Okay, I'll do control science.
Okay.
Can somebody help with these checks in any way?
No, this is a in check.
And I just roll 1d20?
You're gonna do 2.
Okay.
Now, I will say, here's what I'll say about what we're about to do. Make sure, first of all, check your talents. See if there's any talents that you have that are relevant here.
Science and studious, probably.
Yeah, take a look. I don't know what that one is offhand, but right, studious. Because that lets you do science rolls, right?
I think Studious lets you ask another question.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I think you have to spend momentum,
Yeah.
which we don't have right now.
And now everybody also keep in mind that for this session, you have lots of determination that you can use for your values.
Right.
okay. And I rolled a 3.
That's
Nice.
good. Very good.
That's
A
right. This is
3
like golf.
A 3 and a what?
No, I got a 2 and a 1. So 3 in total.
Oh, dang.
Oh, rolled.
So what that
Diggity
is
dang.
actually is that's
Those are
3
crits.
successes. 3 successes. That's or well
4 probably, right?
Ow.
depends on if there's a
sorry,
value if
if
there's a value
yeah.
of
A focus. Yeah.
But there might be. Let me take a look at your character sheet because there
Okay.
might be a focus that I can apply, and that would be 4,
All right.
which is
Right,
really
right.
great. Come on. Ugh.
We just have to fill the silence with something. Radio silence will kill your radio station.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you have any focuses that will apply, so it's 3. But that's still you passed.
Okay.
So you center yourself, and you feel. You take a deep breath. Tell those Vulcan emotions
To shove it.
through this. Exactly. And you maintain, at least for now, but you do have 5 hours of. Sorry, Jack, what was that?
And that was a difficulty 3.
That was a 3, so she passed but did not gain.
Gotcha.
That was really good rolling.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That was some kick-ass rolling. Okay.
Yay for my 2 shitty dice.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go over to Theonar. Your difficulty is 2.
Okay.
You can take a look at your focuses and your talents, see if any of those apply to the situation.
Would Dauntless count?
Is that a talent?
Yeah, it's a talent, and it says whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, you may add a bonus d20 to your dice pool.
Oh yeah, I'll deal. I'll let that
That
fly.
sounds good. That sounds right.
Sweet.
So that means you're gonna get 3 dice. And do you have any focuses that might work here?
I have composure.
Yep, I'll do composure here too. So if you get underneath your discipline or below, then that's another crit.
Okay. Which disciplines or attributes am I rolling under?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it?
In it.
Okay, so for you, I'm going to let you choose between control and presence.
Okay.
And you do need to use the command discipline.
The which one?
Command.
Command. Okay, then that's 15 for me.
Okay, that's your target number.
Great. Oh. Fuck. Okay, so I got an nat 20.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got a complication on our hands.
And a 17 and a 16 and a 12.
Wow.
So
sweetie.
1 success.
I'm rolling really well, you guys.
Oh, that's a rough one. You feel so overwhelmed, like you're trying to hold it together, but it's so loud in your head. Just want it to stop. Just want it to stop.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to hold on to that complication as threat and not make anything happen right now.
Dun dun dun.
But you did not succeed.
I did not.
Your panic is creeping up. It is feeling like you're just on the edge of snapping, whatever that means. You can barely stand it in your skin right now.
Okay.
Is there some kind of like check that the medical people in the office can do to see if they notice this happening?
Yeah, potentially. Let me do the last 2 checks.
Okay.
And then that's a good question. Let me do the
That's a really
checks
good
for
question.
the other 2 patients. And
Cool.
no, I meant to do somebody else first. That was really stupid.
My doctor senses a tingling.
Basically. Okay, Jack.
Yes.
It's time for you to roll.
Oh my. Okay.
We're going to start with Zizik.
Okay.
And Zizik, his is only difficulty 1.
Oh. All right. Okay. Difficulty 1. I don't see any talents that apply, but I do have composure as a focus.
Great. Would you
So-
like to use one of his values?
Well, let's see here.
I'm going to say in this game currently that everybody's maxed out on determination, so
So
use
three.
your values liberally.
Oh, okay. I see. Have I? Wait. Oh, okay. Right. I gotcha. Well,
Could be a good time to get some momentum, since it's only a number.
yeah. So it looks to me like I think emotion in a crisis only makes things worse. Makes sense to me.
Oh, totally. I think that's
yeah.
great.
That's perfect.
It's
So
fucking perfect. So that means you get an on crit.
I get right. So it's like I get a third die, but it's automatically a crit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
And then I
right
can roll.
now you'll roll just 2 dice.
Right. And what am I rolling against?
We're gonna do for you. You can choose between control and reason.
Control.
I'm gonna do control and command. We're gonna do command for discipline.
Okay, so my target number is 14. All right, let's see what we get here. Yeah, right. Okay. Got a 3 and a 17, so that's 4 successes total.
Nice.
Yeah, with your auto crit, you get 4, which means you just pulled 3 momentum for the group.
Yay.
Yay.
Awesome.
Right, very good. Now we'll switch over to Sessic. Oh, actually, I'll let you know what's going on in Zizik's mind. He had a really rough time this afternoon.
Oh.
It was a really, really bad day. But at the moment, he's looking pretty put together. He looks pretty okay. Like, maybe he's in shock and he's just like shut down. But he doesn't seem terrified. And maybe it has something to do with how supportive the commander was as they made their way to the med bay together.
Aw.
But Sessic, on the other hand,
Oh no.
he's already sweating. He's sitting perfectly still, but he's sweating. And he needs to make a check with difficulty of...
What was that?
He needs to make a check with a difficulty.
Damn it, you keep cutting out on the number.
5.
Oh,
shite.
5. 5. All right.
Holy shit!
All right.
We
All right.
We can let him
problem.
use the momentum.
Nope.
Since 5 is
that's
impossible
right.
to get.
I have momentum now.
You do have
then.
some momentum that you can spend.
And you better because a
Jesus
5 would be
Christ.
impossible to get.
Throw into the fire. All right.
Hang on 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, shut up.
You went to
Come
Holiday
here.
Market and?
Come here. Come
Oh
here.
no, these are just the bags. But we went to Walmart and got. Whatever.
Hi.
Wherever.
Hi.
Was it
Here.
Walgreens?
Oh
No, Walmart.
No, it was Walgreens. It was Walgreens.
Yeah.
So nice of you.
Good dog. Yeah, it's just mom.
No, this is great. This is gonna feel
Yeah,
really
yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, oh fuck, it's like it, and then Linnell got this thing from some weather thing saying, "Don't go out tomorrow."
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Gonna be off.
Yeah.
So we got groceries and so
Thank
good.
you so
We're
much.
all prepared.
Yeah. Good night.
Thanks, Mom.
Sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
Okay. Doggy did a boof.
Yes, he was very good at protecting our house from my
Aw.
parents, who he loves.
Dog.
My last night, my stepmother was coming up from putting the chickens away, and it was dark, and she just had her headlight or her little headlamp on, and we encountered her in the driveway, and she started like creeping toward us with her arms raised, going, "Oh!" And Oliver was like, "What the fuck?" And he started barking at her.
Oh
It was so funny.
But then as she started getting closer, he was like, "Hey, wait, you're not. You tricked me." And then he was like all cautious and wagging his tail and barking all at the same time.
We have a wonderful doggo.
He's a good boy.
Okay, I'm back now. So,
All right. So
doing this horrible roll.
yes. Sessic has no focuses that seem applicable. He has the only value that's anywhere close is body and mind alike must be healthy, but I don't know if that's really close enough. Yeah, see, this is
Not quite.
I agree.
I know
with
what
you.
it means to his personality and his
Right.
things, but it's not.
That's not quite
in
the
this
same.
situation.
I got you. I agree. So unless anyone objects, I'm going to use all 3 momentum.
Yeah, I
more
think you
dice.
should.
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
And I have untapped potential as a talent, which will kick in if I get at least 1 success. I think that's about recovering momentum after we're done.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But where I am left at is 4 dice to get 5 successes.
Yeah.
Where we are.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers for some crits.
I actually don't have 4 dice. So I'm going to do this twice.
Nice.
There you go.
Let's see what we get. Oh, wait. What am I rolling against?
Oh, thank you. For him, you can pick control or reason.
Control.
And you can pick command or science.
Command.
Okay.
So that means my target is 14. Here are the rolls I got. 9.
Oh, God.
So the first one's 9. Second one is 6. Third one is 14. Fourth one is 1.
Holy
So
shit.
I got 5 successes.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh my
What?
Wow.
So
you are a disciplined little Vulcan.
So now wait. So let me see. Let me see what untapped potential does. So it says whenever the character succeeds at a task for which they bought 1 or more additional dice with either momentum or threat, they roll 1 challenge die. I get bonus momentum back equal to the value of the challenge die. And
Ooh.
one point of
That's a D6.
it's a D6.
good
It's a weird
freaking-
D6.
Yeah.
And if I get an effect, then a point of threat is created as well. So I roll
Worth
one.
it.
Go ahead.
Just worth it.
It's worth it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
It's worth it.
Okay. So let's see what we get. 2. I got a 2 with no effect.
Okay, so we get
So we
2
get-
momentum back.
So we'll be at 2 when we're done with this. Yep.
Nice. Awesome.
Very, very
pretty
well
good.
done.
Very
Holy cow.
I did not think he would be able to manage that.
We live to defy your expectations.
Yep.
Oh,
Today, Sessic. No bloodbath.
I'm so proud of
today.
him.
Sessic raises an eyebrow at you.
So he is sitting on a biobed table. He is focusing and meditating, pushing back the fear, pushing back the bad memories, keeping it all down. So now that we know where everybody's at, let me, how do we want to do this? I think that it makes sense that Jarit would want to be doing the round to like check in with
Mhm.
people, right?
Yeah. He's keeping Corin with him also.
No, it's take your kid to work day
Yep.
during an outbreak.
Yeah, there's
An outbreak of mental illness.
Look, I love all you, but we've been here for 3 days. There's nobody on the ship that he trusts with his son.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
He can
So
be like an emotional support child, like
Yeah.
when people bring dogs into a hospital.
Yeah, I have to have my kid here with me. He's my emotional support child.
No, he's he's emotional support for the patient.
Oh, for the patients. You can pet him.
Exactly.
I mean, it can work both ways, really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Dad?
he can sit in like the waiting room if he's going to talk to patients.
You probably want him to sit in the waiting room.
Yeah.
I assume that there's space video games for kids to play.
Actually, would you believe it? Old highlights magazines.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
It would have to be.
Oh no.
Awful.
and he's like 5 years too old for them.
Yes. Oh yeah, Ranger Rick also.
Well, ever since
That was the like 2 to 6 year olds
Are
version.
you sure it's not just a giant stack of People magazines?
Oh God.
What's worse?
Yeah,
at least Ranger has animal
I think what I'll
pictures.
have
yeah.
yes. JD, what I'll have you do in this scenario is just a general medicine kind of check
Okay.
to give you to sense what your overview of the whole situation was. So how
Okay.
accurately you're able to assess each of these patients.
Okay, so what are you gonna have me roll?
Insight and medicine.
Okay. Those are pretty good for me.
Guessing you have focuses.
Yes. Psychology. Yeah. Okay. Can I spend 1 momentum to get another dice so that I can make sure that our crew is performing at peak efficiency?
That's the group.
Did I come through?
Oh,
You
yeah,
did.
go for it.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out.
Okay. Just
And this is just going to be a difficulty 1.
okay. So maybe I can get us some momentum. So that is 17 is my target number.
Nice.
That's real nice.
Yep. Nice. Okay. I got 4 successes.
Wow.
Yep.
Momentum.
Keen eyes.
Got 4, so it means you
I-
get 3 in the pool. Are you maxed now? Oh no, you spent some.
No.
I spent 1. Yeah.
Okay.
We had 2. I spent 1, and we got back 3.
Right.
Yes. I rolled a 15, an 8, and a 1.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you, dice that are bad for me in D&D.
So good.
I'm concerned about Corin, but I am throwing myself into this because this is my first real challenge aboard the ship, and I need to prove myself that that Vier made the right choice in bringing me on for this mission.
Aw.
You are such a good trio.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
So what you see from that roll, you scan this room expertly, knowing what to look for, ready to do your best, and determined to make an excellent imprint on this crew to get everybody through this emotionally traumatic experience to the best of your ability. You know that the nature of the situation, you've just been given the documentation to read, so you know what's going on, you've caught up. You know that this emergency is in your hands as much as it is in the doctor's hands and Naja's hands and T'ira's hands. You know, these are all departments that are going to be affected by this situation.
Yeah.
And yours probably is going to be the longest term job because you're going to be dealing with the fallout.
Right.
And that's not just with the patients in this room. That's all of your patients. This whole crew is your patients, and you are going to be dealing with a lot of damage control.
Absolutely.
So what you see looking around is that T'ira, did you succeed? I forget.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Theonar was the only one that actually failed.
You gotta have somebody, you know?
Yeah, right. You see that Sesek and T'ira and Zizek all seem to be managing pretty well. You can see that Zizek seems a little more like his usual well put together self. Like, you know, he seems to be in a decent place.
I kind
Sesek,
of pat his shoulder a little, give him a smile.
He says, "Oh, I guess it's a big day for you, isn't it?"
Now, don't you go making my job too difficult, all right?
Thank you for being here, sir.
Pat, pat.
Sesek seems to be deep in meditation with his eyes closed.
I don't disrupt him.
He does have a sweat on his brow, which isn't really surprising. You know that this is going to be a tough day for him, probably more than anybody in this room, depending on how things go with Theodore. We'll see.
Jarit would turn to Uhen at that point and say, could you replicate some Vulcan incense? It would help him with this
Of
process.
course, I don't see why not.
It might be a good thing to ask Emma to do rather than the chief medical officer.
Yeah. Does anybody bring that up?
Actually, I really want the doctor to bring that up himself. Please make that a character interaction.
It depends on how you guys play that out, however you like.
Please.
Thinking that Jarit might be a little more professional than that.
Well, I mean, does Jarit even know about the Emma project?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So yeah, then maybe I'll rewind a little and
actually, Nurse Emma met them when they came in.
That's true. That's true. In that case, he would say, "Emma, are you?" And he'd look around for her.
She would hear her name. She's just kind of like puttering around in the way that the medical assistant does. And she looks over and she says, "Yes, Commander Dell?"
I wonder if you would be so kind as to replicate us some Vulcan incense, the meditative variety. It would be a helpful thing for our Vulcan patients.
That is a very insightful deduction. I will be glad to procure some incense.
Thank you, Emma.
And she goes out of the room where there are.
Cool.
With T'ira, he sees that she's looking pretty well put together. T'ira, what you wanted to describe, like what you are doing outwardly at the moment? You know that you've got your emotions under control. How are you interacting with your peers?
Just sitting there observing everyone else. Kind of got my arms crossed a little bit. And my legs. Just sort of closing myself off a tiny bit. But I'm open to interaction.
Are all of them on bio beds at this point? What's the...
Yeah, everybody has their own bio bed assigned to them, but it's not like they're strapped down or anything.
Right.
Yeah, Theonor has the option to wander around the room if he wants to. But,
yeah, he's definitely he's fucking as far away as he possibly can from being close to anybody else.
Cool.
So is T'ira sitting on her bio bed? Is that where she is?
Yes.
Did you want to approach her, Del, or want me to...
sure. Yeah, I thought you were still describing.
Oh no.
Like how she was looking. So you said she's got her arms crossed, and so she's kind of still tense, but holding it together.
Mm-hmm.
So Jarit will walk over and ask, we sort of gesture at a space on the bed next to her and ask if he can sit for a moment.
She nods her head. Yeah, go ahead.
And he does, and the first thing he says was, I had no idea that you were skilled in sculpting.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a Terran toy called Play-Doh that my mother would give me.
Oh, some kind of clay?
Yeah, it's like a clay. It's different colors. Very soft. It can dry out if you leave it uncapped, but it's fun. You can squish it up and play with it again.
That's wonderful. I may need to see if the computer can replicate some for our next art lesson.
That would be lovely.
And I do hope you'll join me again. I think the kids are been really responding well to you. I'm grateful to have you in there with me. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm a little nervous. This is my first time in all of my lifetimes that I've ever been a teacher. So it's definitely something new for me.
You're doing an excellent job.
Well, thank you for your flattery.
No, it's the truth. You're doing an excellent. You're coming around this in a very interesting way, and it's fun.
I'm really glad you feel that way. I'm glad you are participating with us. And he would just basically chat with her for a little while and try and have a normal conversation just to distract her and keep her mind busy for a bit. Basically until the doctors are like, okay, get out of the sick bay.
Please leave.
Well, but the question is, are you going to approach the commander, or are you going
that's right.
to give him his space? But let's pause for 1 second, because it's a good time for Carla to help Mimi.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I totally forgot about the rabbit hiding in the corner.
That's fine.
I mean, you could do that. You could just forget it.
No, JD forgot. Jarit would not. I think
Rabbit looks like that emo kid who like doesn't want to be spoken to at a school dance.
Oh no. I'll say this again to Carla, but I think probably what he would do is at some point he would look over and notice the commander, and he would sort of have a little aside with T'ira, like, I think the commander needs me now, sort of thing.
Okay, well let's do that when she gets back.
Cool.
Can end that conversation and go on to the next one.
Yes, awesome.
And then after that, I will have you check in with Uhen, and I'll just make that Uhen and Del talking, and not get Kotri in on the.
Sorry, say that again. You broke up.
I said the next thing you're gonna do is what we're gonna do is have you and Uhen have a conversation.
Okay.
Del and Uhen, because
Del and Uhen. Okay.
Yeah. We'll leave Kotri out of that conversation because it's time for executive decisions.
Yeah, she's a crewman. She probably doesn't have access to the psychological profiles.
Exactly. So this is a time where Kotri would be, doing the puttering around.
The puttering, yeah, I was gonna say
Emma
Kotri is puttering around in the background.
Yeah, which she can be available for Uhen whenever, because she is supposed to be Uhen's right-hand man, but, when it's appropriate.
I feel like she's trying to kindly, but a little frustratedly, trying to urge the commander back onto the biobed so she can do some tests.
Nope.
Well, you can play that if you want.
Yeah, he's staying far away from the biobud.
We'll actually get to that kind of thing in another.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Has everyone had time to read the clinical report?
Oh, that's a good time to do that if you haven't.
I mean, like in character, have the characters read it?
Yes, at this point, everybody, all of the senior staff and relevant staff have been able to read the report.
Okay,
have they been able to read the relevant report? Like, I don't know if Commander Theonar would be able to like read with that amount of noise.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Oh. Yeah, he might. Maybe he was offered the material and he said that he couldn't deal with it. How would he react to that situation?
He would probably he'd probably try to focus on it, to try and like to read it and do his duty, be up to date with all the information and stuff, but just all the words would just be like mud on the page, so he'd be like staring at this page trying to unscramble it and decode it, but it's just too fucking loud. So he probably ended up like clutching onto the page too hard and like trying really hard to look at it, and then like end up like splitting the paper in half on accident.
Oh, it's a pad.
Okay, never mind. Here I am thinking about archaic technology. I'm still in space. Okay, well then he would be squinting at the screen, and then eventually he would just like give up and put the screen away, or like even just drop it to the floor.
Nice.
It's a bad day for him.
Yeah,
it's been a real bad day.
This is like a migraine from hell. No.
Don't do that.
That song gets stuck in like people's heads so easily.
I know, it's
evil.
I'm gonna think about Blues Traveler instead.
Even old enough to know what Blues Traveler
is. Hell yes, of course I am. Dude, are you kidding? My music, like my choice of music is always fucking like Phil Collins, AC/DC.
What?
People are like, when people are like, Chelsea, what do you want to listen to? I'm like, oh, what Cinchetta says?
Oh my God.
I don't keep up to date with all this nonsense.
It's amazing.
How did that happen exactly?
Actually, like It has a very reasonable explanation. It's because when I was little and growing up, I had a little cassette player that was like shaped like a rainbow face. I'm pretty sure, like, if you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh, that's the '90s," and you would be correct. It is the '90s. But I had this little cassette player, and I would steal my parents' like cassette tapes so that I could listen to it. And the only cassette tapes that they had was like AC/DC, Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, Genesis, Sting, and things like that.
Your parents had amazing taste, is what you're saying.
My parents had amazing taste in music, and I adopted it because that was the only music that was around at the time, and there was no YouTubes.
No YouTube.
There was no YouTubes. The first album that I ever got for myself, I'm about to sneeze, but I'm trying really hard to work through it, and it passed. But the first album that I ever bought for myself was Backstreet Boys.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
But otherwise, I was listening to the drums and pipes of Scotland, and Peter Gabriel and Genesis, and all that good stuff. And I refuse to listen to anything else now. That's my story.
I apologize for good taste.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Like,
first of
it's that, and then like Pavarotti.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Nice.
Like the first actual like vinyl album I ever bought, which already dates me. It was Synchronicity by the Police.
Oh, that's a great album.
It's wonderful, and the first actual CD I bought, the first CD I actually bought was Dark Side of the Moon. On the Moon. So yes, those are my credentials.
That's a good shit, yo. That's a good kush.
Wow. I think Carla's back.
Like,
Yeah.
welcome back.
I've been back for a bit. It's just I talk so quietly you don't hear me.
No.
And I don't want to interrupt your conversation.
Oh no, please go ahead. We're just talking about origin stories of our amazing music tastes.
Nice.
You can always, when you get back from helping, just say I'm back in the chat.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that too.
So JD wanted to finish up a conversation with T'ira.
Right. Yeah. So just after them chatting for a little bit, and him helping her kind of put her at ease and sort of get the idea of how she's doing, he would look over across the room and see Kotri trying to coax the commander back onto the bio bed, and him having none of it, according to Chelsea.
Yep. Nope. Not having any of it.
And Jarit would look back at T'ira and say, if you don't mind, I feel like maybe I should try and go help her out for a bit. You got this.
Yeah, I think you should. I wish you luck with that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And he kind of gives her a trill thumbs up, whatever that is. Think about it.
She imitates him.
and he comes over, and he kind of steps up behind Kotri and says, why don't you go check in on T'ira? Let me talk to the commander for a little bit. And Kotri would look mildly put out by this, but she respects the hierarchy of authority, and so she would duck away and leave. And so how is the commander positioned now? Is he like crouching or standing straight, or
No, he's still on his feet. He's still on his feet, and he's kind of like bracing himself against the wall, but he has he's kind of hanging his head and trying to like avert his eyes, like he doesn't need to avert his eyes. He's fucking blind.
Yeah.
But I have to like curb stomp like all my like acting through positioning of eyes just like out the window when it comes to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just kind of hanging his head and bracing himself up against the wall. He's probably got like sweat beading on his brow, and he's taking like a quiet but like labored breaths. He's been trying to calm himself down, but it hasn't been working.
Okay. Well, as Dell approaches, he would sense a very calm and serene presence. This is not to say that Jarit doesn't have his own worries, but he's become very practiced at shoving them way deep down. So, Theonor would not. He would not be able to dig deep enough to feel Dell's worries. He can only feel the more surface things. And so you've got a rather quiet mind approaching. Not as quiet as a practiced Vulcan would be, but he's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah.
And Dell would approach and just stand beside him, not getting too much in his space, but close enough that he can't be entirely ignored. And he doesn't say anything for a moment, waiting to see if the commander will speak.
Doctor, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but please step away.
Is there anything that I can get for you?
No. Just go away. Please.
Emma? Are you muted?
I am muted.
Emma
unmutes herself. Yes, Commander?
Perhaps you can ask the doctor if we can get something for the commander to ease his struggling. Get this man a sedative, basically. TLDR.
Don't.
Well,
Emma, disregard that order. I do not need that.
She looks between.
We must have some kind of. I feel Jarit would know this, but like, is there some kind of like telepathic blockers or like,
So let me what I want to say right this second, just to give Jarit's perspective on what he would probably do in this situation.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Rather than going to Emma, he would probably hold on to this because he knows he's just about to meet with Uhen in like a minute.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
He knows that as soon as he's done with these patients to doing a little round, he's going to be meeting with Uhen to discuss what to do. So that would be the appropriate time to say, I see that this patient is not in good shape and we should discuss what we're going to do with him. Basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
in that case, Jarit instead takes a step back and he says, I understand that this is difficult for you. If you can manage it, if you can describe to me what you're experiencing, that will help me and Dr. Uhen help you.
Right. It's just too loud.
Are you hearing our thoughts?
Yes. I'm feeling everything.
Emotions as well?
Yes, it's so loud. It's so loud.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to Dr. Uhen. We're gonna see if we can get you some
No.
Psychic isolation.
No. I don't want anything. I can work through this. It's just really loud. I just don't get close.
I'll be right back. Jared's like, this is not going to stand, but I need a medical doctor behind me to back this up.
Fight me!
That's exactly the way to do that. So, what I'll tell you about the other patients, we've already them. They are in the other patients are people who don't have nearly as high level of psychic powers. So they're not they're still, like, for who they are experiencing extremely elevated telepathic activity. They're still experiencing discomfort, but they're not as high risk patients as these main 4 that we just went over. You're keeping an eye on them because they are in, various stages and levels of discomfort, but at the moment you don't feel like you need to worry about any of it.
Okay.
Where Uhen has been while you've been doing these rounds is reading more in-depth information and getting ready to start the project of synthesizing the inoculant. So at this point, she's got in her mind what she needs to do, and it's the time that you guys are going to discuss the well-being of these patients and what you're going to do with them for the next 5 hours.
Okay.
Why you enter the medical office where Uhen is at her desk.
I knock on the door frame, and I smile when she looks up. Hello, doctor.
Is Jarrett just doctor also? Do you have a...
He can be... what did you say, Jack? As a lieutenant commander, he can be called commander or lieutenant?
He can be called commander. Okay. I personally think that there's no problem being Dr. Dell, but I think that that's really a matter of his preference. And I would say that whatever his preference is has been conveyed to the crew.
Okay. I would say that it depends on the context. In his office, he would just have people call him Jarrett. And in a non-medical situation, he would probably expect to be called commander. But in this situation, it wouldn't be weird to call him doctor.
Okay.
So that would be fine.
Right. She's probably going to go with lieutenant commander first, and then...
Sounds good.
Yeah. So she looks up from the data pad she's reading. Lieutenant commander, please. Come in.
And he steps in behind the desk to join her, look over her shoulder at whatever she's working on.
She's looking at I have a million tabs open. Here we go. The clinical report, and she's currently re-reviewing the therapeutic intervention and treatment sections. I'm assuming the treatment, the medicine is synthesizing right now. I think that's where we left off last game.
Kim?
Anyone confirm?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So it's what, 3 hours, maybe like 2 hours, 40 minutes till this stuff is ready?
Exactly.
Okay. So she'll turn to Jarrett and ask him, what do you think? How do they look to you?
Well, they're most of them are holding up better than I expected. T'ira especially is really staying very in control of her emotions at the moment. Although what I read in that report does worry me it may be only a matter of time before she loses that calm that she's managed to attain. The most immediate worry for me is the commander. He does not seem to be managing as well as the others. I don't know how much you've talked to him, but he expressed to me that he seems to be experiencing an overload of telepathic sensation from the people around him. I was wondering if there's something we could do to possibly psychically isolate him. I'm not sure if that's something. I don't know, DM, if that's something we have the technology to do. Can we put him in some kind of force field that blocks telepathy?
What do you think about that, Tech Jack? Is that something that exists?
I do not think that would normally be on a part of the Federation suite of technology. There are things, that you can put on a particular patient to suppress things, maybe.
Right.
But not a generalized field.
I think that would be some experimental technology somewhere far down the line at Star Trek R&D.
All right,
but
season 2 we'll be working with that.
Yeah. Now you know what you guys need to develop. But the alternate version of that is attempting to put cortical inhibitors on all of the patients that are expressing telepathy, including him, or sedate him. But the report said there's kind of mixed results as to at least the hallucination effects and the amount of brain activity, regardless of sedation.
Mm-hmm. The question I have to ask is given how this manifests, is what the commander is experiencing, is that genuine distress, or is that another projection? Is he and maybe you've already done these scans and can tell me the what he is experiencing, hearing the voices and feeling the surge of emotions, are those a manufactured fear that he is experiencing, or is that a genuine symptom of telepathic overload? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I believe I do. So me, the player, thinks, that's like textbook symptoms of this illness, as it were. Is that correct?
Not entirely sure what you. I don't know if I'm on the. Can you rephrase your question?
Mine?
JD's, because.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Basically, is somebody, is one of the other telepaths, or even himself, projecting a fear of psychic overload, and so experiencing it as hallucinatorial?
That's a really fun question. That's a really fun question.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that seems to me something that would be a genuine fear of a telepath.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that I don't know if there's any way to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could attempt, like a deep brain scan on him if you follow a theory, and try and sort out, while he's having this episode, what's the source of that episode.
Yeah.
If you want to do some in-depth diagnostic medicine, that's up to you guys.
To be honest, Jarit is just he is wanting to alleviate this person's distress as quickly as possible, and even though the commander seems to be adamant against any external help, he thinks we should really just knock him out for a while.
Best of fucking luck, dude.
Well, again, are you going to tell the doctor that?
Yes, he was going to suggest that to Uhen, because whether or not this experience is real or a hallucination, it is impacting him and his brain in the same way.
Yep.
And the longer he is experiencing this, the more trauma it's going to leave him with, in Jared's opinion.
Okay. So do you want me just to assume that
that
you
would
just said
probably
all that?
have to be something that the CMO decides, as it will be going against the express wishes of your superior officer.
Mm-hmm. All right, so am I to assume that you just expressed all that in character? We'll just...
Yes.
Here it says this.
Sorry,
Okay.
that was kind of half in character, half out. I'm working on it.
Oh, no worries. Uhen leans back in her chair and kind of taps the data pad against her knee and thought that, okay, here's the problem. Here's what we're dealing with. This is a extremely understudied phenomenon.
Yeah.
There have been very few cases, so anything we do is essentially new medicine from here on out, aside from administering the inoculation.
Right.
Besides the inoculation, the only other recommended course of action is administering a species-appropriate neuro-anti-inflammatory, which may help with a bit of pain, but to my knowledge, won't actually get rid of the symptoms until the inoculation has been synthesized and administered. Cortical inhibition.
Perhaps. Can you think of anywhere that I could take him that would get him some distance from the minds of other people? What's the emptiest place that we could bring him for the next couple of hours to minimize this trauma?
His discomfort seems so severe, and frankly, he is a danger to both himself and others on the ship if he is refusing any kind of a treatment, which I should note is experimental and inconclusive in its effectiveness anyway.
True.
That I would be willing to greenlight a quarantine on a shuttle if that were necessary.
We could theoretically keep it tractored.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to talk to the captain about this.
I agree. I am not sure how big the distance is, but if we keep him within beaming distance, then we could theoretically quarantine him on a craft by himself for the duration until the time comes to administer the inoculation.
Yeah. I think it's worth bringing up to the captain. We can bring her a few different ideas. We could, if she doesn't like that, we could isolate him in one of the holodecks, perhaps. That's are there any? There's no crew quarters on that deck, is there?
Well, with the med bay, the deck.
No, the holodeck. Are there any crew quarters on the same deck as the holodeck?
There's more than one holodeck.
Oh, they're not like right next to each other?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Depending on what is on those levels, might be able to order them cleared if you wanted to create, a significant physical space.
Right. I just want to, Jarit wants to bring a few different options to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Is he voicing the holodeck or holodeck level idea to Uhen?
Yeah.
Looks like deck 4 is full of crew. Where's the other one?
The other holodeck is deck 7, which is main engineering.
Okay.
That is a no-go.
So that doesn't seem like that's going to work.
And frankly, Dr. Dell, even if Lieutenant Commander,
Commander.
Sorry, even if Commander Theonar were kept away from crew as far as 2 axes, we're on a ship. There's also the z-axis to take into consideration, and there's only 10 feet or so between decks. I don't think we have enough room on this ship, and it's a very small ship, as you have seen.
This is true.
There are other things I would like to discuss about this with the captain, so I think if you wouldn't mind, we should absolutely go speak with the captain at your earliest convenience.
I agree.
You can call her in.
Let's do that.
Yeah, you can do the tap, captain.
Tap, tap.
Come to the mid-B.
Wow, that is not how Uhen sounds. Very rude.
So once you send a message over to her, she'll be right there. She shows up in the doorway of the med office where you guys have been chatting, and she says, "What does it look like our situation is, doctors?"
Not
Jarit
dire.
defers to you.
Thank you. Not dire, but not ideal either. The good news is that we have an inoculation synthesizing. It will take a little under 3 hours now to synthesize. And of course, in the meantime, we still have a little under 3 hours of hallucinations to deal with, not to mention the personal suffering of all of my patients.
What was that last sentence you said? The what of your patients?
The personal suffering of all of my patients, yeah.
Oh my god, it did the exact same.
Oh no, really?
Why Discord?
Why does it always do it exactly like that, where you repeat it and it cuts exactly the same thing off? It's so fucked.
Because you, that's why.
Okay, I think I've got you back. Give me that patient's line one more time.
The personal suffering of my patients.
Personal suffering. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
The doctor, or the captain takes that in and says, the literature seems to suggest that it's going to be a very uncomfortable experience for the next 5 hours for everyone.
Yes. So what of this would you like to address first? I have a few questions for you, and I'm sure you have a few questions for me.
Why don't you start with your questions for me? I would like to see what your suggestions are.
All right. First point of order, I think that if the entire crew has not yet been informed, that they need to be.
We are actually at yellow alert. Exactly what the situation is. Everyone should be prepared for encountering unexpected and traumatic hallucinations. My hope is that we have a crew that's well put together enough that they'll be able to convince themselves what is and is not reality.
All right. The next suggestion I had is I strongly recommend that any crew carrying phasers set them to a non-lethal setting. We had an incident in the mess where phasers were discharged at nothing, and thankfully no one was hit, but phasers were discharged.
That is very valid. When we finish this conversation, Lieutenant Commander Ullu, and speak to her about the security situation for.
The next point of order is about Commander Theonar.
What about him?
He is refusing treatment, at least symptom alleviation. I doubt he will refuse the actual inoculation, but he is refusing any kind of symptom treatment. And frankly, the results of the little research that has been done on this condition are inconclusive. The best that I can come up with for helping him find some reprieve is to put him at distance from our crew, basically. And the way to do this that I have thought of is putting him in a shuttle and keeping that shuttle in tractor beam. There's nowhere on this ship where he would be far enough away from the crew to not pick up empathetically on their thoughts and emotions.
It's a very creative solution. What about his well-being in the meantime?
That is a great concern. He is a danger to...
I believe that he could manage having perhaps one other person, maybe two, in the shuttle with him to keep an eye on his
concern.
His health.
I believe the said that there could be seizures or cardiac arrest. I would not like him to be completely alone when we're not even sure what his body is going to do.
He seems to be most distressed by the volume of other minds he is involuntarily accessing. So if he were to be isolated with only a small crew, I can imagine that would be much easier for him to handle.
And would it be a possibility to remotely monitor his condition, even just by way of audio-visual link with the shuttle? That way, should any emergency arise, crew could beam aboard the shuttle to assist if needed.
Or we could do a site-to-site transport straight to the med bay.
Even better.
Yes, I think we should be able to set up a feed that can maybe even go directly to the biobed that he's on now. Set him up with some medical equipment in a shuttle. This is assuming that he'll be all right with that.
Yes, I haven't spoken to him about this at all, but considering his refusal of other treatments, I may have to put my foot down on this.
It seems like the best compromise.
Indeed.
Would you mind if I was to approach him about this?
Oh,
not at all. No,
absolutely.
Please do.
Well, aside from that particular facet of our situation, is there anything else that we need to discuss?
I do want to keep a particular eye on our Vulcan crewmen, given what the research shows about this condition affecting them particularly hard, or at least there's a chance of that. Our T'ira and Sizik are managing at this point, although we don't know if things will get more difficult or easier over the next few hours. So I think we should keep them here for sure. Doctor, was there anything else?
Not at this moment.
All right. Well, I think I'll go speak to the commander.
One more thing, Captain. I recommend, if you could manage it, maintain a distance of about 3 feet. It seemed when I got closer than that, it caused him more strain.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay, she's gonna leave, but let me let you guys finish this scene if there's anything else two of you want to discuss. Because I think maybe you mentioned that Jarit wanted to set up, what did you say at the beginning of this? Maybe set up a triage center.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's something like is there part of this med bay that can be used for that? I don't know how big our med bay is.
It's not that big.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like the Enterprise one that we saw. Like, it's a fucking hospital. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like half the size of the Voyager med. So
it's so small.
It's got a total of 4 biobeds in it, Mac. Total.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh, well,
So-
okay.
so
I'm
the
going to
four-
assume there's emergency cots then, that there's like emergency bio.
So the 4 named, I thought because there's 4 like named, senior officers or named officers who were suffering from this. I thought that fit very nicely with the 4 biobeds. I thought you those 4 are probably on biobeds, and the other 5, I think, people or whatever are going to be. Yeah, I agree. Cots or sitting on the floor even.
Yeah.
Definitely no room to do any kind of quarantine or isolation in here.
Right. Okay.
Unless you isolate the whole facility, which I presumably would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I think that you would have total prerogative, JD, to commandeer somewhere, maybe the crew mess or something like that.
Yeah.
A
Absolutely.
public space. You could even use the imp if you wanted.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should.
That is the source of the problem, so
That
we might have to go
is
doing
a really fair point.
That's a good point.
That's a
Plants. That's right. That's what this whole thing is about.
yes.
So yeah, maybe the mess hall.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can have that conversation. Did we? Has anybody determined how this is spreading? Like, is it through the air vents? Is that what? Or have we even figured that out yet?
That's the assumption. That's the assumption, and Naja is working under that assumption to figure out a way to disinfect the air vents.
Okay.
So that aspect is under control. There's somebody working on cleaning up the space.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we necessarily need to play that out. I feel like we can sort of hand wave that they, find a good spot for it, probably in the mess hall. And the thing that I am not sure about is if that's something that you guys think should happen during the middle, like during these 5 hours that we have to keep everything together, or if his time is better spent hovering around the senior staff that are affected by this and setting that up for like later tonight.
Well, why don't you bring that suggestion to Uhen and see what she thinks?
Okay. Dr. Uhen, I do want at some point to make myself available to the rest of the crew for any kind of counseling to get through this time. However, I want to offer my services to you for at least until the inoculations have been administered, and it seems like perhaps I can be of use in helping to monitor their status during that. What are your thoughts?
I think that's fair. He told her about the idea of setting up a temporary base of operations, or no?
Yeah.
Yes?
Okay. He would be, telling her that this is something that he would like to do, but he wants to make sure, first of all, that he's available, during this more delicate time of creating and administering the treatment.
Frankly, Doctor, I don't know. I hate that I don't know, but I don't know what we may encounter. I feel like if there is work that you would like to do in preparation for any eventuality, that would be good to do. But if you wouldn't mind, I think, yes, if you could make yourself available as well, that would be helpful.
All right.
I apologize. I don't know what might come.
Sounds good. I'm just going to step out and let Cora know what's going on.
Okay.
Vaguely. And but I will remain in sickbay for the moment. At least until we hear from the captain what she wants to do next.
Right, of course. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
You're muted still.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you can then just go out and go talk to your son, who's the same person as the doctor.
Oh wow! Imagine that.
Oh shit!
Sorry, we can make it quick.
You're good. You don't need to make it
No,
quick.
go
We're
for it.
doing good.
Just act.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just act.
So I imagine that there's some waiting area or something where I have deposited corn.
Yeah, we'll hand wave that there's a few seats for you to sit in.
Okay, sounds good. So he'd come in and sit down next to Corin and put his arm around his shoulders and say, how you doing, kiddo?
Okay.
What you reading there?
He looks at the cover. I don't know. Just looking at pictures. What's going on?
Well, it seems like what they've figured out is that there was something. Actually, would Jarit know how much he can talk about this?
I don't think that this is like super classified information.
Okay.
There's not. I don't see any reason that he wouldn't be able to tell him as much as he wanted to.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I break Starfleet protocol.
No, I see. I do appreciate the question.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to go into detail, but
don't scare him. That'd probably be good not to scare him.
Exactly. He'd say, "It seems like some kind of bad fungus came in on some of the plants that we have in our hydroponics bay. We don't know which ones yet or where they came from, but it seems like that fungus, essentially people who are telepaths or empaths, it's a little bit like they're allergic to it. So non-telepathic people don't react at all, don't seem to have any problems, but the telepaths and empaths on our crew, it makes them sick. So right now we're trying to find a way to get them back on their feet. And we've got some medicine that the doctor is making right now, but we have to wait and take care of them in the meantime because it's pretty uncomfortable for them. It's a little scary, huh?
Yeah. So we're not going to get sick, right?
No. We're going to be just fine. We may see some more scary things. Like, do you remember what happened in the Imp Bay with the lights went out?
Yeah. Did I cut out?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, what that was is a manifestation of one of the telepath's fears. So, because they are being frightened, they are projecting those things that they find scary out into the ship. So, somebody here maybe has a fear of the dark, and so that's what we experienced. But as long as we're careful and we stick together and we remember that these things are not real, they're just like movies, then we'll be okay. We'll be safe, and we won't get sick.
How long is this going to go on for?
Well, the doctor thinks that take a few hours to make the medicine, and maybe a few more hours after that for it to really start to work. So with any luck, by tomorrow, everything will be back to normal. We just have to, stick it out and be strong for our friends, like T'ira and the commander. And
they're sick?
Both of them are... T'ira is an empath? Or...
Yeah.
She's a telepath, but not as strong a telepath as either Sessek or Theonor, because she's half human.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for clarifying that. So they're both telepaths. So this sorry, fungus. Yeah, fungus. Mm-hmm. It interferes with the way that their brains work.
Wow.
But they're both really strong, and they're gonna get through this, and we're gonna help them.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Well, I think for right now, I'm gonna be on call in case any of them need me. I was hoping that maybe you could, hang out here so that we can be close by.
I'd like that, Dad.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. And you can help by reading your favorite story or watching your favorite Hollow movie and putting some positive feelings and thoughts into the atmosphere. Sorry, I'm like, I don't know how to describe this. Basically, you can help by being a calm presence.
Okay.
What he's trying to get at. And
except
I think today might be a good day for some ice cream from the replicator.
I'd like that.
Yeah, me too. Why don't we get some right now? We can talk a little more. All right?
Dad, I'm really scared.
I know. Come here. He pulls him in and hugs him really tight. Kisses the top of his head. Just hold him like that for a little bit.
That's really tight.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The feelings.
I'm not going to let you go until you can't tell me you can't breathe.
Okay, maybe now. Maybe I can't breathe now.
He listens up a little bit. All right, what flavor you want?
I don't. What's the limit? How many flavors are there?
Any flavor you want.
31 flavors even.
Dear God, 31,000 flavors.
Yeah, right. 31,000 flavors.
From all over the galaxy.
Yes.
Could you imagine though? He'll pick.
That would be pretty cool.
He'll stay with
That would be
something pretty
amazing.
comforting. The trill equivalent of chocolate.
Awesome. All right. And Jaret will get the same. And yeah, then they'll just hang out in those seats for a little bit. And they'll do some, home care with his little family there until somebody needs him.
That's good. That is a good plan. Okay, so I'm going to switch from that, and I'm actually going to go back to the captain, who's leaving the office and going to the heart of the sick bay. And she looks around the room at the various patients, offering supportive looks. But it is Theanar that she turns her attention to. Where is he at right this second?
At this second, he is as far away as he can possibly physically make himself from everybody else who's in the med bay. So
Okay.
smashed up in a corner, still bracing himself and trying to measure his breathing.
Okay.
But it's just so loud.
So she will she's going to step in his direction, and her approach to him is going to be less physical and more emotional from a distance, trying to project at him thoughts of confidence, of care and support, thoughts of personal strength and belief in him, and kindness and understanding of what's happening to him and to how difficult this is, and also understanding or telling him, I'm not here to force anything on you. And I'm going to roll for her to see how well that was communicated, how he felt that.
Okay.
Presence command.
Yes. And, I would say this could be a contested roll if you want to really actively try and shut her.
I think honestly that her attempts to approach him would kind of be like there are 75 different bands playing at the same time, and they're all different types of music, and then her adding in those kind of thoughts and feelings is just, instead of it being the focus being on the contrast between the thoughts and feelings and fear and kindness, would be more received as great, there's another band that's hopped up on stage.
Okay, so let's do that as an opposing.
I'm going to contest you because I love creating conflict.
That's totally fine with me.
Bring it!
Totally fine.
Kim, I have a point of order.
What's up?
How many scenes you have transpired in the mid bay so far?
I'm
one big scene.
I'm gonna keep this one big scene.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So you are going.
I'm gonna be feisty.
What do I want you to roll?
Can both the captain and the commander use the momentum?
I
Yes.
think so.
In which case, in the event of a contested roll, who has dibs?
Whoever calls it first.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
At least that's how Shield of Tomorrow does it. Basically, whoever asks for it.
I can also spend threat if I prefer.
That's true.
Because I can spend threat to move the narration as I would like it to happen, not just complicate it. But I'm not sure how I want to try and guide this situation. Okay, anyway, you roll control. Yeah, let's just do both control command.
Okay.
And
How many do I roll?
So you're going to start with 2. I won't, I'm not going to stop you from spending momentum if you want to spend momentum to get more dice.
Nah, I think that 2 is just like a natural thing. Like if I was actively like trying to fight against you, then I'd pool. But
okay, and I don't think any of your focuses are going to work in this situation.
Composure.
You're kind of doing the opposite of composure, right?
You're correct.
You're not trying to compose yourself. You're trying to shove away.
Yeah, I'm trying to shove everything away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll
so 2?
Yeah, just roll 2.
Okay.
Where did you go? Come back.
3 and a 17.
Okay. Oh, I was only making this a difficulty check, by the way. A 3 and a 17?
Yeah.
And what is your command stat?
Command is 5.
Okay.
But I don't think that she had any focuses, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Did
so
not.
It would just be a regular success, that one.
Yes, that's one success.
Okay, so I got 2. So
Sweet.
What I'm going to say happens in this situation, because I'm not going to take all of Theonor's agency away. I'm not just going to say this means that you do what I say. But I will say that at least what happens for a moment when she appears and tries to reach out to you is that the voices do recede just a little bit. The volume goes down on them just a little bit. And you can hear or feel her intent more clearly than you can feel the noise all around you. Like you were in that noisy room, but somebody came in and like cupped their hand over your ear and spoke right into your ear.
That's really nice.
So you feel like this voice that's there and it's louder, even though it's still just like rattling your metaphysical bones with the metaphysical bass. There's this voice there saying, I'm here, I want to help. The doctor, there's an idea. There's an idea. You don't have to be sedated. We're going to help.
How are you planning to help?
You hear she's like standing in the middle of the with her eyes closed now because she felt something come back, right? She got a question and she's remembering the conversation that you only had.
Are we talking telepathically?
What I imagine is that, especially with the level of telepathy that you're experiencing right now, there's some communication happening. You know, I think the way that that this Theanar stuff works is if someone is receptive to talking and you're receptive to talking, that at least some kind of communication can.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound legit?
Yeah, that sounds legit. I'm down.
So
in that
what he's receiving is not so much words as it is attempts to get ideas across.
In that case, she would actually experience kind of like a scattering of emotions that he's like trying to convey to her, that he's trying to speak, but like there's like just too much going on, so it all kind of like spills out at once. But he would communicate telepathically to her and say, I'm trying so hard to maintain control. It's just too much. But I'm going to do this. You can count on me. I'm your commander. I can do this. But underneath it all, underneath all of that, there's like a really quiet and very deep, real fear. And he's trying so hard to like not convey that.
What he feels in turn is a deep sense of confidence in you.
Aww.
Feels that as his commanding officer, there is trust. Even though they've only known each other briefly, she instills her trust and belief in you. And then what she does is try and project a picture into your mind.
Okay.
The picture is of the Sagan, of the ship. And in, like, behind the ship is a shuttle, little bit away, a distance from the ship, like it's following it. And she's showing you there's a beam of green light, a tractor beam, holding the shuttle, keeping it a distance away. Trying to convey an idea.
Thanar conveys a sense of relief and a sense of hope. He really likes the sound of this plan.
She imagines one nurse inside the shuttle.
Little hesitation with that. I'm discovering really quickly that Rabbit does not like being in the medical bay.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, he's gonna be that character.
But we need those. We all need them.
I know you need them. So he's gonna be that character. He's gonna convey worry specifically about like any kind of tranquilizing agent or a sedative. He does not want that to be on board along with the nurse.
She's thinking. He can feel her thinking. Thinking and thinking. And then she thinks at him, someone from the duty roster. someone on the ship, and you remember a very, very low-ranking crew member. I don't know what it is. A crewman would probably be the lowest ranking, not a Starfleet officer. But there's
crewman.
Crewman is the way low down there.
That's pretty low down. Yeah.
There is a Ferengi on board who is an engineer in the lower decks.
Nice.
And you know personally, as you would know about telepaths, that you cannot feel the thoughts or feelings of a Ferengi.
Perfect.
Oh, interesting. Can we trust this Ferengi? That's what he's gonna think.
She thinks she thinks something that you feel she would not say out loud.
Oh no. She's thinking you fucking racist.
No, here's what she's thinking.
Oh.
She thinks we can trust him. Hopefully you don't have to make conversation. She's the racist. Hopefully he's not a super annoying, is what she's thinking.
Oh god. How dare you, Soon?
Thanar reluctantly agrees. He reluctantly agrees, but there's definitely like some other thoughts in there that suggest a familiarity that is not based in kind experiences.
Like you're saying he's encountered Ferengi?
What, JD?
Was your implication that he's encountered Ferengi before, so he has experience to back up this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't feel too kindly about it.
Gotcha.
I just remembered. Yeah. That's fun. That's really fun. I'm so glad.
He doesn't feel so great about this.
This is great. This is the best.
Like literally the only reason why he's like kind of okay with this is because they're resistant to telepaths.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have a fun talk. The captain and you.
Yeah.
So
because she definitely picked up on a blip or two more of like, I have history with these people. I don't trust these people. But if you say that we can trust him, then I'll trust you.
She'll convey like there'll always be a communication open. Always will be monitoring what's happening. Maybe monitor.
He expresses all the more that he doesn't want any kind of fucking sedative on that ship.
her brain has that like crossing arms Japanese thing, like it's not gonna happen.
Okay, sweet.
That X with the hands.
Yeah, the X.
Okay. We will not sedate you. You will. She specifically thinks it won't happen again.
There is what she feels in response to those words specifically is she feels just an immense and like powerful pang of grief. And then underneath that grief is that same familiar pang of fear that she was picking up on earlier, and but it's all pretty much like drawn back away from her, like really quickly, because he's trying to like shove that down, but he agrees, and he quietly expresses gratitude.
She gives that bolster of confidence again. We're in this together. We're gonna get through this. And she thinks, I will be back to set things in motion. Hang in there.
He nods, and he leans himself up against the wall all the more, and tells her again, thank you. But he uses her name this time, and not Commander. Or Captain. Not Captain.
There's like the mental equivalent of a squeeze on the shoulder.
Aww.
And then she heads out of the med bay. And
For everybody watching this, there was just like two people standing at each other.
I was just thinking, she was like, I'm going to go talk to him. And then anybody else in the med bay would just see them staring at each other for like 5 minutes. And then she walks away.
Probably even longer.
I really want one of the doctors to be observing this.
I bet Kotri saw this.
Yeah, Kotri would have seen this.
I mean, and all of the patients would have seen it. She was just standing in the middle of the room, looking in his direction with her eyes closed. Her eyes were closed, doing that like a person, like a human being, trying to project telepathically with their eyes, their brow really furrowed.
I feel like as the captain walked by, Kotri would just be like, Captain, and like nod, but look a little confused.
She would nod back and say, thank you for your service, crewman, and leave.
Okay.jpg.
I gotta pee.
All right.
So sweet, me too. Thank you.
A couple minute break.
Lord. See you guys in a moment. Bye.
I'll break. BRB as well.
Maybe a good time for a snack.
I am returned.
Hello.
Hello.
I was.
It's
Yes. Well, I was looking for some kind of really uber dramatic Star Trek music to pipe in while people were away, and actually I might have. Let me see. I might have found one. Where is it? If I can figure out how to do this. There you go.
Are you here, Carla?
think Carla's still on potty break.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm just making something to eat because my headache's coming back.
Eating is very important then.
Please
Yeah.
eat.
So I'm going to be muted for a bit because I'm in here chopping potatoes.
Okay, sounds good. I will actually, since that's what's happening, I will swap some scenes because you were going to have the next scene, so I'm just going to go to a different one so you can chill for a few.
Okay. I'll type in the chat when I'm done.
Eating the food.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Wicked little creatures deep inside your mind. Some call us that fantasy, but some do never find. We can teach philosophy, but still we must command the weight of our existence right into your hand. Welcome to this place in here. Where is it part of your trees? Where you were alone. When I was alone. When I was a hero in this crazy wicked show. You burned the little swords to do your dark and life. Did not mean to ask what is wrong, what is right. And still I regret to be here.
Jack, I love your commentary and momentum.
Like, I'm sorry, which comment?
The commentary just that goes in the momentum pool. The description.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Last time I was trying to be and specific so that it would be a way to track what scenes we had when, and this time it's like, oh, I don't care anymore. So I just put down whatever comes into my head and move on.
I think that's a good way to do it. I like it very much.
Are you here, Mael?
Huh?
You're here?
I'm here. I
Is
am
she here?
physically present.
Okay, you're cutting out for me really bad tonight for some reason.
Oh no.
Same.
Can you roll me a d4?
Inside, so deep inside.
If I remember how to do super.
You will die.
For some reason. Got a 1.
I'm so glad.
Okay.
Somehow I didn't think this is one that was going to happen.
What'd you say?
I said for some reason I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm really glad it did.
Oh my god, it keeps cutting out right when, like, in the middle of each word. Obnoxious.
I'm just glad that that Mael rolled that.
Oh, okay. Why?
We'll see.
What mischief are you planning?
We'll see.
Eh.
JD, are you having issues?
I'm back.
No.
JD, I think I'll set up our the hotspot because that might improve what I'm getting to achieve for me tonight.
Oh, it's pretty choppy. Inside, so deep inside.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't dream anymore. Dreaming. Oh. Everybody should listen to Avantasia.
Okay,
That's
I'm
so
back.
Cool.
Welcome back.
JD, are you back? JD's not back yet.
Dad!
Oh, Kim, if you wanted to do the scene with me, you can while I wait for the fries to bake.
Oh, okay. You feel up to it?
Yeah. I'd rather
Because
have the time to chillax, eat, so
That's
Oh,
true.
that way I'm not
makes sense.
crunching you guys' ears.
That makes sense.
Okay, well then you need to roll me
I'm sorry, roll a what?
a d4.
Okay. Opening up the dice bag. I got 3.
3. Okay. JD is still having connection issues. What's it doing, hun? Are you switched over to the other network? It doesn't even show you connected right now. Oh, there you are.
Okay. Can people talk so I can see if I can hear anyone?
Hello.
Oh,
It still does that weird buzz thing when you talk, JD. I think
Okay,
maybe
I
it's
can
not
hear you guys
plugged
now.
in all the way.
I don't know. I can't get it in any farther.
That's what she said.
Okay.
um,
Yeah,
I
I don't know
noticed.
that. I don't know if there's
I
any way
noticed
to
the
fix
buzzing
that.
started. Yeah,
I just have shitty headphones on. I don't know.
yeah. Like I think it's feedback from the headphones, but shrug.
I've got the mic like way away from pointed away from my mouth at this point. So
it sounds like a grounding problem or something, which is not plugging it in all the way would be what that would be.
yeah.
So
I literally can't push it in any farther though.
yeah, no, it could. It may not be. I just wanted you to say. No,
I wanted me to say it again. Can I reiterate this in another way?
No, it may have nothing to do with how can I say this? It may not have to do with how far in it is. It may just be there's a problem with it, with the cord or the plug or whatever.
I see what you're saying. It's the problem's on my end.
It's you know.
It says leaving and returning to the channel fixes the issue online, but I don't think that's a.
I mean, yeah, I've done that. I did that like 3 times before it stuck.
It only goes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Buzzing seems to have gone away now. Oh no, there
I
it
can
is.
still hear it. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
Sure that's coming off of JD?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see it happen. Yeah, whenever yeah. Like JD's not even saying anything, but it will still show up on the.
It's just buzzing. Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, I
Really?
could try switching to the purple headphones, but those are the ones that people tell me I sound terrible through. So I don't know if that would improve things.
Try it real quick for science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Science.
I mean, we are a science ship.
All about research.
Hello.
Hello.
That sounds better. Yeah, there's no buzzing.
Oh, well. Okay. I guess we'll use these for a while and see how it goes.
I hear a bit
that's
of feedback, but
all.
it's not as intense as the other one.
Yeah.
Like
And
this
Yeah,
since
one's
you were
fine.
saying something, you're
like
muted,
better.
so I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Kim, do you know you're muted?
I just figured that out.
Yes. I can just barely hear you mumbling in the other room, so I was like, I think you're trying to say something to me.
I actually was mumbling to myself.
Oh.
I actually was mumbling myself that time.
Wow.
I hope our frickin' connection holds up. Looking really bad from my end.
I believe.
Oh. Okay. Get back into it.
Okay.
Last thing. Internet, please. Thank you. Okay. Got what I needed there. Okay, back into it. Now we are cutting to the bridge. Do we have some beep boops, Jack, for our bridge?
Yes, I can get you some beep boops. Just a moment.
Beep boop time.
Oops.
Yes.
boop, beep.
There's a. So, at this time, we're about an hour into the whole situation that we're dealing with. So, an hour past synthesization, the start of the synthesization. Nope, just gonna leave that one.
You're doing great.
Thanks so much. Ullu has been in charge of the bridge. She's the third in command, basically. And since Theanor has been incapacitated and the captain kind of dealing with that side of things and executing plans, it's been Ullu's job to keep an eye on things on the bridge. And so far, been all right. Nothing's happened yet. Nothing sensors nearby. You're just looking along to your next location. You need to do your next fetch quest on. In the meantime, and just having an outbreak of fungus as you get there.
As you do.
So aside from the vague sense of tension in the room because everybody knows that there could be a hallucination at any moment, things are fine. Until the officer at the comm station says, "Commander, we're being hailed." And at the same time, the person at the I think it's ops station with this, says, "Commander, there's a ship decloaking off our port bow." And I think immediately they would just do that on screen so that you see this ship decloaking. And it is a Klingon bird of prey.
Oh, shit.
Oh God.
Are we? We're not currently at war with the Klingons at this point, though, right?
No, we are in a time of peace.
Okay.
We are fully in a time of peace right now.
Okay.
It's a great time to develop new technologies for the next.
Develop new what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Oh, it's a great time to develop new technologies for the next. That was my gross sense of humor.
Okay.
JD, you're muted.
Oh, I was just saying I missed the whole second half of that sentence, so your humor didn't even come through to me.
Oh. Well, so the you see this ship appear on screen, and person at the command station or at the comm station tells you that there's an incoming hail.
Open hailing frequencies.
And the screen comes up, and on the screen is a very typical looking Klingon. You know, looks like a Klingon, as they do. And a Klingon bridge, all dark and ominous looking and sharp angle, green and oranges. And the Klingon on screen, it's a male Klingon with an absolutely menacing and also a sneer. And he says, "This is Commander Kruk-Kajak. How like Star foolishly send a magnificent science vessel, so you will feel the might of the Empire, and the Federation will know none of its weak pawns are safe." And with that, for all it appears to you, this ship opens fire on you. On the screen, they use disruptors, streak out, pew pew, hitting the side of the ship. And on the bridge, you experience what would happen if you were being fired upon by a in a very dramatic Star Trek way of lights and explosions and shaking the camera.
Everybody jiggles at once.
Everybody shakes in their seats. One person falls out of their seat. They fly back from a bunch of sparks coming out of a console. And that is your moment as the officer in command to try and talk your troops through this hallucination.
Okay. Everyone remain calm, or as calm as possible. We are not at war with the Klingons. This is someone's hallucination. Please take a deep breath. Multiple deep breaths if you must. We'll get through this together. Turn the screen off.
So, we're going to roll.
Okay.
And you're going to roll
done.
presence and command. Like this.
Okay.
This is such a shitty day on the bridge. It must be so annoying. The good news is that the red alert is finally. Although, no, the red alert is back. I have to do the red alert again because it happened.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, you said presence and command?
Yes.
Okay,
and
so that's
check
12.
your focuses, your values.
Observation?
Not in this setting.
Survival? No.
Stakes aren't high enough.
Okay.
I'm going to make this a difficulty. I'm just going to make a difficulty 1.
Okay. I got a 6 and a 12.
What was your target?
My target was 12.
Great. So you got 2 successes. Get
Yay.
Yay.
but nonetheless, I still have to do. I'm sorry.
There we go.
If I was better, I would have firing explosions for, but just put you in the movie mind of your imagination.
We can imagine the pews and the explosions.
Thank you.
I'll be
So
your Foley
as
artist.
you, yes, thank you. Perfect.
A
Start
plus Foley
throwing
artist.
stuff, break things. You're standing in. I think you've probably been at the captain's seat, actually, because I think that would be comforting to the crew time of crisis to have somebody in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
So you're. Do you stand up or are you just sitting there?
I stand. Hold on to the armrest.
You stand in this room full of imaginary chaos, calmly and a little maybe annoyed.
A little.
Yeah. And you watch as your officers who are, this is not the top tier officers here, seasoned folks that have the best advantage of dealing with the situation, but maybe it's how much you seem to not care that gives them confidence is your lack of fuck. And they take a breath, and one that fell on the ground stands up looking kind of embarrassed that they got knocked over by a hallucination. But they approach the console, which to everyone's minds appears to be spewing sparks. But they stand and they focus, and it all goes away.
Yay.
Job, everybody.
Lulu thinks
And
that.
Everybody takes a deep sigh of relief. Thank God.
Lulu just sort of smiles and sighs and sits back in the seat and just covers her cheeks with her hands.
Good job.
And just sighs again and tells everyone, thank you. You did a good job, everyone.
There's kind of a hum. Thank you, Commander. Very good. Very good. Way to work your people.
Yeah.
Hi.
See, where are we now? That's the end of that scene.
Now, was that hallucination only experienced on the bridge? So, like, none of the other decks would have felt shaky or impact or anything, or would they?
Correct. That was a hallucination.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so from here, we are going to cut to Nadja and Chuck again. And
It's a good thing he hasn't seen Backdraft, otherwise that's what he would be pretending to play it this whole time.
No.
Oh my God.
I feel like if he had the right reference, he would just want to walk away from the fire over.
like not caring that it was behind him and like putting
Oh,
on a pair of
no.
sunglasses.
Oh my god, you're absolutely correct.
I was
I don't
thinking
think he's
walking
been allowed
through
to
it.
watch action movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I was thinking walking through it like Terminator style, but definitely don't show Chuck Terminator.
Yeah, no. That is one of the
Yeah, that's one of those like movies that Chuck is never ever 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 allowed to watch.
Yeah, no. When he's moved out on his own and he has his own apartment, then he can watch whatever movies he wants.
I don't think he'll ever get a chance to move out.
Oh, one day.
Oh.
He has a long time to work on moving out. About that.
He's a science project.
I mean, he's only He's only like what 3? We got at least another 15 years before he's old enough to leave home.
Yeah.
He's immortal though, so it'll be cool.
It's true.
He has plenty of time to leave.
Yeah.
He has so much time.
So the after playing in the fire for a while, as though it was a fountain, it finally died down, and Nadja did not like interrupt Chuck. Like she just kind of observed his playing and probably would have given in to some make believe if he wanted to. If he coaxed her into doing some playing in the fire, as
he definitely did.
Bizarre and vaguely unsettling as it was for her. But finally, the pixelated fire went away.
Aww.
And you two are left standing there and not gonna. That is weird stuff.
Yeah. But it was nice and toasty in here while it was there.
It's a strange sensation to, like, my mind wanted to feel like I was burning, but it couldn't produce the sensation.
Yeah. It was really weird. Like, I could kind of feel it. Kind of. Like, if I focused really hard. But then I wasn't sure if I was just pretending that I could feel it or if I was actually feeling it.
Your brain is just as weird as our brains, Chuck.
It's because I'm supposed to be like you.
Doing a good job. I guess we should get back to work, though.
Yeah, I guess. But
I think
we're supposed to be making sure that the biogel doesn't get sick, right?
that is a high priority.
Yeah.
Let me hang on. She taps her communicator and calls down to engineering, second in engineering, and tells them that what her plan is at the moment, that she's going to be focusing on setting up or experimenting with how to deal with the ventilation system, but she wants every biogel pack on this ship under watch. She wants this checked constantly, scanning each of these packs if it needs to be every 6 hours to make sure that there are no changes, that there are no effects happening from this. She wants that top priority is observation of this ship while she is working on getting an antidote together for all intents and
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I just wanted to make sure that we had already like quarantined off the airflow from the hydroponics bay, so that if this is coming from those plants, that it's not continuing to pull the spores from that area.
Right. Yeah. She's actually. I'm just about to address.
Okay. Sorry.
Also, hopping on board with this momentary pause. Chuck, like whenever Nadja like taps her comm badge to talk to somebody else, Chuck is definitely like there announcing his presence and saying hello every time.
Yes.
This is kind of like a game for him.
And pretty much every time with, any NPC anyway that you greet on her comm badge, the answer is, "Oh, hi, Chuck." Always a confused. Oh, but I have to say something. Hi.
It makes Chuck giggle every time. He's really excited. He feels like he's included.
I love it.
It's really good. So yeah, she finishes that conversation and she looks at Chuck and says, "Think what we need to do. We need to take on the task of taking care of those plants. We need to go and track down this fungus, find the contamination, and get rid of it. Normally, I would leave that task to T'ira, and I would definitely prefer to have her here with us, but she's suffering from the infection, and I don't want to have to take her out of medbay."
No, she's sick.
Exactly. So
it's okay. We can do this.
We get to go pretend to be gardeners for the afternoon.
I love pretending to be a gardener. I got to take care of my own plant back on the island at the R&D facility, and I did a really good job of taking care of it. But now that I think about it, I think the plant was doing just a good job of taking care of itself by itself. It was a succulent. Succulents are really hardy. I can't kill a succulent, not unless I really, really try. But I don't know why I would do that, because that would be mean. San Francisco has a lot of succulents. You could see them all up on the cliffs and by the rocks, and there were a whole bunch of them in the gardens. Do you think there might be any in the hydroponics bay?
While you're talking, she's gathering up equipment. she's getting tricorders and gadgets that she's gonna need.
Chuck, he notes that she's doing this, and he goes and he grabs a like a bag or a basket or something to carry them all in.
Great. She'll start. He'll help her acquire the things that she needs while you guys are chatting. And it's not that she's not paying attention to you. She's definitely engaged, but she's doing the multitasking thing. And when you guys are working together, the experience that you've always had with her in your drills and everything is she's perfectly happy to listen to you talk while you guys are doing things that you don't need to talk about. She's perfectly happy to experience your company. She's not very talkative herself, but she's never given you a vibe like, oh, you should be quiet walking.
Okay, that's good, because Chuck is definitely going to fill the air with constant chatter.
Yeah, I totally figured that much. So he's never discouraged from that. But he also is used to her doing things while he's talking.
Oh, and he's totally used to picking up on her cues and stuff and reading her intent and following along as he's talking. So he's still being a good assistant, but he's definitely a chatty Cathy.
I love it. I think it's charming. So once you guys gather your things up, you go to, I don't know if it's anybody know offhand where the science lab, or rather the imp bay, which was our other science lab, engineering lab, is in relation to that.
Imp bay is deck 3.
And what's the engineering lab?
7.
7. So we make our way, chatting the whole way, if you like, through the hall.
Oh, yeah.
To the turbo lift. And turbo lift opens, and Naja steps in and just says, she said deck 7, deck 3.
Mm-hmm.
And turbo lift takes us. Doors open, still talking, I'm sure.
Yep. He's somehow moved on to like his conversation has moved on from like to succulents to like San Francisco to how the waves look in the water and like how he really wanted to go swimming and then like him wondering whether or not he can swim and like it's just kind of following like this natural train of thought that he's going on and it's just like this pleasant little ride that he's taking her on.
She's very used to it and she really genuinely pays attention because to her everything that he says is totally important. She's taking to note all of the way that he experiences the world and the way that he feels about everything, and all the little stories and games play are all constantly being filed away for her to understand how his programming is developing.
As they're traveling to the hydroponics bay, do they pass by any windows?
I don't think
they
so.
shouldn't.
Yeah, this is all pretty interior.
No.
Good. All right, then he's fine.
We're waiting for that moment to arrive.
Yeah, he's sufficiently distracted. But as long as there's no like really big, fun, interesting things that he hasn't seen before, then he would be like he'd be pretty like on task for following her and stuff.
And how is he when you pass crew members?
Crew members, it still kind of fluctuates between being really shy and like darting behind Naja. And then like if he's seen them before, then he'll be a bit more like a sociable and wave. But if he hasn't seen them before, then he'll duck behind her.
He can because he's pretty keyed in by design to even though he's not a telepath and he's not an empath, he's very keyed into observation of behavior and reading people's I imagine is it kind of an aspect of autism that you kind of pick apart people's behavior to determine what they're feeling in a very clinical.
I
it's
think
a coping
it actually,
and masking strategy.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, because
it extends far beyond autism.
Yeah. If you don't,
I imagine that's
understand.
a lot like how he experiences people, and how to is. There's this checklist of you look like this, and this. That means this.
Oh yeah, he's always like studying and trying to read others.
And the few people that you pass in the halls definitely feel a sense of anxiety. Like you can see the people that you're passing in the halls seem kind of preoccupied, a little bit distracted.
If he senses that, he actually will probably stick more behind Naja. He won't come out as often.
You make your way to the imp bay where doors open up and nobody's in there because the kids got sent home. And the teachers are both in the med bay. And it's the first time that Chuck is seeing this, if I'm not.
Seeing what?
The imp bay where the kids meet.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. It would be the first time.
It's the imp bay and also the hydroponic area. So a portion of it is dedicated to the plants. And then it's this kind of cavernous space that has a big, long conference table and with computer consoles on it. And then there's a lounge kind of area with couches. And then in the corner is these racks of green plants.
Wow. This is the hydroponics bay?
The hydroponics bay and the space for the education project that they're doing on the ship.
The other kids?
The other kids.
Oh, it's so big in here. There's so much room for activities.
You can do so many things in here.
This place is huge.
Yeah, they gave the kids a nice space in here. It's not bad. I think Jared's going to talk to you about the kids soon, if I'm not mistaken.
What is he going to say about the kids?
I don't know. He's the doctor.
Oh, he is a doctor.
You'll have to tell me when. Tell me what he says when he talks to you about the kids.
Okay.
Let's go take a look at the plants.
All right. Let's look at the plants. But there's all this clay stuff all over the place too.
Oh, that's right. All of the art is still out. That's right.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Yeah.
Look at this one, Naja. I'm not sure what it is. It's like a flat pineapple. Kind of? I think that's what it is.
Poor Corin.
It's okay. He doesn't like it either.
His peer pressure tribble.
Yeah.
They get to play with clay here?
It looks like they're doing some art stuff. But I think Jared wants to do some art stuff with you too, though.
Well, I really want to do art. I can kind of do it. Dr. Veer says that I need to keep trying to use my imagination. But I like playing a lot with art.
What kind of because Naja would know this, she would have witnessed the thing. What has his art been like in the past?
It has been absolute direct copies of things that he sees. He has no inclination for art whatsoever.
You fucking traced this.
Pretty much. He's able to perfectly represent what he sees, and then sometimes he'll do I think it's kind of like a really radical spectrum where he's either doing complete perfect representation of things that he sees, or he's doing complete impressionist paintings where he's just taking colors and smearing with his hands everywhere. He's like, ooh, yellow feels like happiness today. I'm gonna play with yellow.
Oh, it's direct copying or
yeah. Exactly. It's either direct realism or makes no sense whatsoever.
Synesthetic, sort of intuitive art making.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I love synesthetic art.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Very, very Kandinsky.
Naja says, I am guessing that Dr. Dell's going to be really interested to see your art, actually. I'm sure as soon as excitement dies down, spending some time with you about this stuff.
I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like to play. Can't do a lot of play when there's so much responsibilities.
Try and balance that. I mean, I don't know. It's Jared's responsibility to decide if you can play with the kids.
I can play with them.
Only if he says so. Don't tell him I said this. I'm sure he's going to have this conversation with
you. Okay, I won't tell him.
Thanks, Naja.
She's not great at this.
I won't tell him. I won't tell him that you said it. Am I not supposed to say it at all?
I mean, I don't know if he wants it to be a surprise or something.
Oh, okay. I can be surprised. I've practiced that one a lot.
Show me.
Like that?
And now you're going to do a check.
Oh my god, please.
Okay.
You're going to do the version of a performance check.
Performance check.
It's going to be... This makes no sense.
It's okay. Chuck is a very out of the mold character.
I'm gonna tell you to do a presence and science check, and it'll be a difficult 0.
Of 0?
Yeah, it's 0. It's
Okay.
just to see how he does. There's no consequences to it. He can't.
How much? Okay, so that would be an 11. How many dice do I roll?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay. Okay, he got a 9 and a 5.
Okay, so
Good
he
for
did
him.
a very impressive and believable gasp of surprise.
How is that?
That's good. Do it, make it as real as that, and I think we'll be okay.
Okay, I can do it.
Let's start scanning these plants. I want to find what the source of the spore is. The literature suggested that once it was in the air, that it'll be easy to detect. And the area that you guys are in is like these series of racks that are like the highest ones are at arm level, like if you were reaching up. So they're pretty high. And it's all of these different kinds of plants on racks underneath lights. Some of them are in little like pods because you can see they probably need like a specific moisture. And there's got to be like 50 to 75 different kinds of plants in here.
Oh,
There's a lot of them.
Wow.
It's a very kind of magical feeling in this corner of the Imp Bay.
Before they go in there, Chuck is actually going to stop Nadja at the door to the hydroponics bay. And he's going to cover his like mouth and nose. And he's gonna say,
Nadja, is it okay for us to breathe in there?
Oh, yeah, it's okay for us.
Okay.
The spores don't do anything if you don't have a base.
If you don't have a what?
A telepathic brain, somebody that can,
but we
talk
don't know
into
how it
people's.
affects Biojo.
I mean, I guess that's true.
I
How
need
about
a
if I
hazmat suit.
I mean, let's. I'll get you a mask. Yeah, your respirator system works just like a regular pair of lungs. Mask just fine. So hang on, I'll get one. There will definitely be one inside the hydro bay. Wait here, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And she
Chuck
goes
runs
in
to the other side of the room instead.
She goes in and finds a respirator that is like a very condensed sort of thing. Like there's like a surgeon's mask, but then it's got a little canister on it that's very small source of oxygen and filtration and stuff. And then it'll strap around your head. So she hands that over to you, and when you get it on, she goes, "How's that feel?"
It feels really snug, but good. I feel protected.
Tell me makes your like eyes feel weird if it's too tight or something.
No, it's not too tight. It's good.
Okay. Let's go into this little jungle.
Okay. A little jungle. This is like an adventure. Da, 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 da. Wait, no.
You're not wrong. That's actually more accurate.
And now the question is, has Chuck seen Indiana Jones?
I'm gonna go with no, because that really fucked me up as a kid.
That's
Yeah,
true.
things are
I
getting
was,
tense.
I was definitely going off of my own childhood experiences where I had very irresponsible daycare counselors who would show us movies
Oh no!
like Indiana Jones when we were 8.
Oh
Amazing.
no!
Yeah.
They also showed us Gremlins and Drop Dead Fred.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
That's
So
really inappropriate.
it really is. Actually, now that I'm an adult and I'm looking back at this, I'm like really, really questioning the capabilities of my daycare counselors.
Amazing.
Yeah. I just saw, I think, flipping through television or something, saw in I don't remember which one it was, where the head rolled down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
One
I
of
think
those
that's the second
images
one?
that just fuck you up forever.
Yeah.
You see it once and your little child brain holds on to that until you're 16 years old.
Oh, for sure. I saw like 2 minutes of Chucky, and that was like imprinted into my brain forever.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, he tries to sing a different adventure-based song that I don't know right now. But as he goes in, he like he ducks behind like some plants. And he looks at Nasha and he's like,
Can you see me in the jungle? I'm hidden. I'm a jaguar. That's an animal. A giant cat.
She's trying not to giggle.
I'm on the hunt for plants.
On the hunt for spores.
Yeah, for spores, but that wouldn't make sense because I'm a giant cat. I would be trying to hunt down small mammalia. I should actually be something that eats spores. What eats spores? I don't know of any animal that eats spores.
They're out of character. I don't know if other than humans.
I don't know if anybody like who would eat spores either. Yeah. I have no idea.
Well, this is very upsetting to me that I don't know the answer to
Me
this.
too, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think
that's a question that I've never ever thought about.
Fuck, this is upsetting.
I don't think there's anything that like specifically, I think like maybe some bacterium, because spores are pretty freaking tiny.
They are, yeah.
And anything that is just like happens upon, oh hey, this looks like food, but specifically eats them? No.
I'm going to be a bumblebee that's looking for pollen.
Pollen spores? Close enough.
Pollen spores is close enough. I can't think of any other animal right now that would hunt for spores. So I'm going to be a bee. A bee with a very special diet.
A bee with a pollen allergy.
Yeah.
Oh no!
A bee with a pollen allergy.
That's the saddest thought ever.
It's terrible.
We're going to find these spores. Hello, plants. I'm going to look for all the plants that look like they have blossoms of some kind. Or fungi.
She's gonna hold out a tricorder to him.
This is my bee, my bee antennae.
She flips hers open and she says, I'm going to send you the parameters of what we're looking for. And she beep, beep, beep. It appears on your tricorder and she says, let's find some spores. And she starts waving her tricorder.
You should pretend to be a bee too. You have to balance work and play.
Okay, then I'll do this, she says. And she holds out her tricorder because she goes, buzz.
That's perfect.
Does that work?
That works.
Made my throat
definitely
feel kind of
forget
weird.
him. It's a fun sound to make. When I first discovered the sound, I tried to talk only in buzzes. But then Dr. Weir said that she can't understand buzz, so I had to speak a language again. That wasn't.
Isn't there something about bees? She's thinking. Isn't there something that bees they communicate strangely? It's not the buzzing that they communicate. They communicate with their body.
Body language. And dancing.
They
Like
dance.
this. I don't know. If I was a bee, I would like to do all kinds of dances. Kind of like this.
He does the Charleston.
Oh my god.
So good.
He's also holding up the tricorder like up near his head so that it can be like actual antennae. Because that makes sense to him.
Well, what I love about him and this is that he is still a completely effective assistant. He's just quirky as fuck. And
He
right
is.
this
He's just very
moment,
chatty.
we are gonna roll together to hunt down the spore.
Gotta hunt down the spore.
Okay. What do I roll?
You are going to assist, so you're just gonna roll one for me, one dice.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
And you're gonna roll. This reason and situation. You're gonna roll reason science on your one roll. And not the captain's.
Reason science. Can I use studious?
Tell me what studious does.
It is a talent. It is whenever you spend one or more momentum to obtain information, you may ask additional question.
That's not going to apply here.
Yeah.
And I don't think talents. I don't think when you assist, you can use talents.
Okay.
Although in the future, I might, with Chuck, end up overriding that because that's kind of his function is to be a helper. So
that's true. We should check that out on a sheet. But for now, it will be the 2 with reason and science.
Just one.
Just one. Never mind.
Just one. Yeah.
16. Damn. I needed to beat a 15.
Oh, and this is just a 1 DC, and I just made it with Naja. So
good.
Just made it. I rolled a 13 and a 17. My target was 13. So I got the one success that I needed. So after some time scanning through all of the plants and playing with the bee identity, Chuck comes across a fern-like plant, and pretty small. There's actually 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're maybe 5 inches tall. And when your tricorder approaches them, it goes off. Beep, 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 beep.
Fellow bee, I have discovered the source of the pollen. Or the spores. That's right, you're allergic to pollen.
Naja comes over and takes a look at the plants that you have hunted down.
Look at them, they're all curly at the tops.
Are little ferns.
I have so many friends.
she lifts up one of the fronds, and on the underside of the leaves, there's a bluish powder.
Oh.
I think that's the culprit.
That's pretty.
It is kind of
It's
pretty.
also pretty nasty.
I don't think even I necessarily want to breathe too much of this, but I do want to collect a sample, and I think we should destroy. I think I want to destroy 2 of these, but keep 1 for observation.
Destroy it? Why?
Destroy.
But
'Cause
it didn't mean to. It's just a plant. It's just doing what it's supposed to do.
Eject that motherfucker into space.
Naja was going to incinerate it.
Oh, it's too.
She pauses for a moment to consider that. Says, I mean, they're dangerous. It's dangerous. I guess we
So
could
we're
look
just
at...
gonna kill it?
Upsetting the child.
in Naja's head, she's like, bitch. The fuck do I do now?
I am your moral code barometer.
It's a fucking plant, she thinks in her head. But I don't want to cause trauma to my little robot. She says, okay. Got enough room to contain these 3 plants. So for now, we'll contain them, and when
Just
Lieutenant
give them
Ira
a
is
new
feeling
home.
better... Give them a what?
Give them a new home.
Oh, like drop them off somewhere?
Yeah.
No.
We're a research and development ship, and we're supposed to just be making deliveries here and there. So there should be a place that we can find them a home.
That's a
They must
possibility.
have friends and family.
It's possible that they might be able to be cured. Maybe we can fix them and they can stay
true.
on.
What if they're sick?
I mean, I think that they are. I think that this kills the plant.
That's not very nice of the spore to do that.
Or causes a lot of trouble.
That is a lot of trouble.
She gets out this thing that looks like a toolbox and starts picking up the plants and setting them like old-timey toolbox, not like with drawers, but just like a tray, basically. Mm-hmm. And she starts putting the ferns into this tray.
Chuck will start helping with this. And as he's helping, he says,
wasn't it that the penicillin was discovered from mold?
That sounds familiar. I mean, I know that there's definitely a number of medicines made out of mold.
Because, if we destroyed this, what if we destroyed the creation of something else?
That's pretty valid thinking. I don't know how much research has been done on this spore. From the stuff that the doctor sent me, it seems like it's pretty rare.
That's really why we shouldn't destroy it then. We should just find it a new home and see if we can create something better from it.
Good idea. Once the plants are in the little tray, she taps on the side of it and a force field flickers over the top like in a little dome so that the plants are now contained and the spores will not be able to get into the air anymore.
Yay!
Good work. You found it.
I was a bee. And I did a pretty good job.
Yay. Let's take these guys back to the engineering lab, and I want to try and give some of these spores to some biogel under controlled circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good work, Chuck. Let's go.
All right.
I think I might end our night right there, you guys. I think that's good timing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did some good stuff tonight.
Great work. Everybody did super good, really good role play. You guys took it in directions that I did not anticipate and I really enjoyed.
Welcome to running a game.
Some really creative thinking with the idea of the shuttle for Theanor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really, really good idea.
No joke, I spent like all of this week envisioning the big fight that was going to happen, and it basically never happened. turned out way better. Way better.
Amazing.
I'm very glad that
A+.
Captain Theanor Whisperer took control of the situation.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, because I could tell you for sure that like whenever it comes to fucking sedation or anything else in that realm of like possibility, like Theanor is going to hands down throw such a fit. It's like not gonna be okay.
And now Uhen is aware of that fact and didn't even have to get in a fist fight with him.
So it does make Kotri wonder, however, if in a pinch, just what are Emma's strength capabilities, and could she pin a irate Enar to a biobed if necessary?
That's actually something really interesting that I would love to find out one day.
I'm going to have to think about that in the next 24 hours. That's an interesting question. Trying to think if it's ever been displayed what kind of physical strength the EMH has.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would imagine that they do their best to at very least give it the, strength of a human being.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what the hollow technology restraints are.
Right.
Presumably,
sure.
there's like safeties, like on a holodeck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'd have to be disabling something, maybe. I don't know either.
Because
that's a good point, though, because you can create something in the holodeck that is strong enough to overpower you. So.
Oh yeah, the Klingons do it all the time.
Yeah, the capacity of a hologram to be able to restrain a person is theoretically possible. It's just a matter of whether that is something they decided to build into her. Although I feel like it would be a good idea because you could have doctors that are physically weaker than their patients, and that could be a dangerous situation if a physically stronger patient needs to be restrained.
I'm super into the idea of cute little Emma
just manhandling
having the capacity to just wrestle a Vulcan down into bed. It's time for you to lay down now, Mr. Vulcan.
Exactly.
Oh, I just searched, and the first hit was a very long Reddit thread on exactly the question of how strong is the EMH when in sick bay.
There are deep thoughts to be had.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually came to a conclusion because it's Reddit.
Because it's a long Reddit thread.
Yeah.
Uhen has to shout, Emma, code red, and unlocks her.
She comes running down the hall, football tackle somebody into a bed.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna see how long I can keep a Theanor from actually sitting down in a med bay bed.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be my goal, keep him off one for as long as possible.
I'm right now rubbing my hands together in excitement because for the next 24 hours, I get to think about this Ferengi that you get to hang out
Oh
with.
yeah.
Oh no.
'Cause that was a completely on the fly decision.
Are you kidding me? Because I totally thought that you were like, oh, I'm gonna push some buttons, and I was like, oh, bitch.
Well, I mean,
I was already feisty.
the only reason that I chose a Ferengi was specifically the telepathy block. I had completely forgotten how it relates to his backstory.
You're not supposed to tell people that. You have to let them think you planned it.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't have planned it because I didn't know that you guys were going to come up with this plan to help him out. I can't think that many steps ahead.
I know. I was also like looking forward to being feisty.
to having a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun
man.
too.
One of these days.
How dare you guys come up with valid solutions? It's okay. Another time.
Exactly.
I'm trying my hardest to make Uhen a hard ass, but then there's this part of me that's like, but
I know the feeling.
Maybe she would understand.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's the thing, right? She would understand, but she also wouldn't brook argument, I feel like.
Yeah. And if the report was like, bless you.
Like
if the report was like, yeah, cortical suppressors and putting the patient putting them under sleep, making them sleep with anesthesia.
Bless you.
Bless you. This works 100% of the time, then she would be like, this is what we're doing. But because the report was like, we don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's hard to justify creating a really uncomfortable situation for a patient when you don't know it's going to help at all.
Yeah. And especially if it might even have the opposite.
Right. It could aggravate the problem even more, just creating a stressful situation. You really mind-fucked me with the question of, is it a hallucination of
You're welcome.
I knew exactly where you're going with that.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here drooling like, what? What are you saying?
I love it.
I know, it's very clever.
Yeah.
I think in that respect, like he... I don't think that was a fear for him. I think that was actually like physical, like, oh my god, there's so many bands playing right now.
I think so too. I think it actually was, but it is
that's a legit concern,
valid to
question that
would happen.
Oh yeah.
There's totally somebody in that room who is currently thinking, don't lose control of your telepathy. Don't lose control of your telepathy. I'm so scared of losing control of my telepathy.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's totally going to pop up in somebody else's head across the room.
Yeah, exactly. That's that.
What
that
I want to
was the
know is
feedback
like,
loop I was imagining.
yeah. Like, I'm also like curious because like we've been experiencing all these fears and stuff and like traumas on the ship. Like, I want to know whose trauma belongs to who.
I know.
That's what I'm curious about.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
I know.
Yes, we as writers just want to push our fingers into people's open wounds.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What's this from?
I am all Saint Mark and like Jesus.
Why do you
like fucking spear wound right now?
Why do you think I wanted to play the counselor so that I'd have a legit in character reason to poke everyone's wounds?
Oh my god! Wow!
You have a counselor in a game like this, and just there to unravel the sweater of everybody's backstory.
Yep, and then build you back up.
Aww.
Yeah.
Insidious and wholesome.
Yeah. But then, who counsels the counselor?
Well,
the doctor, which is not good.
That's not a good idea. No.
No.
Not great.
I imagine that Jarit in the past has done like remote sessions with another counselor or whatever, but he is not. Well, nobody would know this except Uhen and maybe Corin, but he has not currently seen a therapist for himself.
Jarit.
What? He is fine.
He's a therapist. How could there possibly be anything?
Oh my gosh, that's like
the most put together people, right?
case in
Just like
point.
doctors
He's
never
a
get-
therapist. He needs a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Look, doctors make the worst patients, and psychologists make the worst therapy patients.
Yes,
Well,
mental health patients.
Yes.
Not wrong.
But nobody but Uhen and probably Corin. Corin wouldn't know for sure what his father was doing with his mental health. But
could Uhen interest you in some relaxing aquascaping?
He does hollow programming. That's what he does to relax. He writes hollow programs.
He writes romance novels in his spare time.
No, he did that to put him. He did that to put himself, through college on Trill.
Trill med school.
Yeah, he wrote some erotic hollow novels to make a little extra money on the side.
I'm so proud.
It was under a pen name, so none of you will ever know that they were his.
And the Trill equivalent of Chuck Tingle.
Oh no!
Oh
Not
no!
that bad. He wrote classy hollow sweet novels.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they were still smutty, but they were classy.
I was about to say, what do we constitute as classy smut? Who's our bar here?
It's all about what terminology is used for a penis.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That basically sets the level
Really?
of what is classy or not classy erotic.
Okay,
well,
please,
but with
please
a
tell me the
hollow,
difference. I don't
with
know.
a hollow novel, like there may not be any words ever spoken, so it's different.
Uh-oh.
True.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't satisfy my curiosity. What classifies as classy and what is not
What
classy?
percentage of the story is dedicated to plot?
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah. Like, is it a pizza man arriving, or is there dance that you play through? And it's like a sensual experience.
He wrote long, involved, like fantasy romances that, if you like knew the backdoor hack, you could make into sex novels.
Backdoor hack, huh?
Yeah.
Underground sex novel.
Backdoor hack.
God.
Thank you.
Oh,
that.
no. Oh no.
Look, here's the truth. Like, imagine Quark at his hollow suites. He gives you this program and you're like, this is so awesome. And like you get sort of toward the end and then you'll get a little notification that's like, for an extra 2 slips of platinum, you can unlock the steamy ending.
Fucking pay to plays.
Yeah.
No,
microtransactions. Fucking micro.
Yes.
Damn.
Dude, Ferengi culture is literally all about microtransactions.
Yeah,
It is. Don't trust him.
You get on the elevator, you put a slip of latinum into it, you arrive at somebody's desk and you slip some latinum into it even to like announce that you're there for an appointment. That is Ferengi culture right there.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Theodore doesn't.
Gonna think Ferengi thoughts all night.
Honestly, like this is like this is like trying like this is definitely two forms of torture.
Oh no.
You've realized.
It's so much happening. It's day 3. Day 3, everybody.
Yep.
Day 3.
Yep. Awesome.
Commander Thanar is feeling not very secure in his being chosen as a commander if he's already unable to fulfill his role as commander on day 3.
No, you're sick, Boo. You just need to wait for the medicine to kick in.
Yeah, he's supposed to be commander. Commanders just don't get sick on the 3rd day.
Don't you fucking hate it when you get a new job and on the 3rd day you get sick and you have to call in?
Oh man, it's such,
Yeah.
that's such a
worst.
bad impression.
Exactly.
It's my worst fear, so it makes sense. Maybe this is all a hallucination he's having.
God.
Oh my god.
There are no spores.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit, it's like telepathy inception.
Reality continues to become blurred.
No. I love it. Well, thank you guys for playing. It was
Thank you for a
awesome.
great game. And hey, we have another one tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah.
I think tomorrow we might be able to finish this sucker off.
Sweet.
Yay.
Excited.
Get hype, get hype.
And Jaret's job is only just beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't the article say, like, please keep tabs on the mental health of your players your patients? Wow.
Yeah.
Your patients for like weeks afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Guess who's gonna have mandatory therapy sessions for at least 2 months after this?
Everyone?
Telepath.
Everyone but
If not every single person.
Well, not everybody won't have mandatory therapy, but all the telepaths that were directly affected by it will have mandatory sessions.
Yeah, that
Guess it makes sense.
absolutely.
And that's
Yeah.
protocol. That's not even Jaret's rules. That's just Starfleet protocol.
I guess.
But even if it wasn't protocol, he'd still make y'all do it.
Just imagining Commander Theonar sitting there the entire session in silence,
Arms crossed.
just not talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh no.
Yep. Just blocking everything.
Jaret is already thinking of ways to get through to him in therapy. Like,
Thanar is like, he would be like sitting in place and like staring him down without staring because he's blind. But
yeah.
I have to keep reminding myself that. I keep trying to use this fucking visual cues.
Mentally staring you down.
Mentally staring you down.
Thinking really hard thoughts about you.
Yeah.
Thinking really hard thoughts, but he would be like that's what he's projecting outside, but inside he would be climbing the fucking walls.
Yeah. I feel like 5 minutes into that, Jaret would look at him and be like, "You realize I'm not a telepath, right? If you're talking to me, I can't hear you."
Nope, just waiting for you to speak.
Don't get ahead of yourselves. You're gonna have next few sessions.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Think about it.
Did you see, I missed that. Did you post this picture? This is poking the wounds. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Thomas touching
the fucking
not
the poke
Mark,
emoji is so perfect.
Oh god, yeah.
I love putting stupid emoji.
I knew it was you.
It's great.
People are mean.
It really looks like he's touching his nipple though.
Yeah, I had a moment where I was like, is he poking his nipple? And then I'm like, oh wait, no, there's the nipple. It's above it.
No,
so
getting
awkward.
that good spear wound.
Yeah, he's just an asshole who's like, I don't believe you actually got hurt.
Let me stick my finger
No,
in it.
he didn't
Stick
believe
your finger
Jesus
in
had
here.
resurrected. And he was
Oh,
like,
there we go.
I'm
Yeah.
not going, because everybody was like, oh my gosh, I just saw Jesus. I just saw Jesus too. Me too. And he's sitting there like, why didn't I get to see Jesus? I want to see Jesus.
Oh, that was the best impression.
I love it. That's definitely his voice now.
I feel really bad for Doubting Thomas. Everybody's all like, "Oh, Doubting Thomas didn't believe," and I'm like, he felt left out. Everybody and their dog got to see Jesus, and he's just sitting there like, "Well, fuck me."
I wanted to see the Jesus.
I wanted to see Jesus. Like 2 days ago, he got to see Jesus get murdered publicly, horribly, and like everybody's like, "Oh, Thomas is just so full of not faith." Like, fuck you,
Thomas is
poor
the rest.
Thomas.
Let's be real. Thomas is the rest of us. Thomas is the normal reaction to
People
that
act
happening.
like they're
Thomas
so
is the
good, and like,
everyman.
no, you're right there alongside him. You are Thomas. Don't act like you're better than poor Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm
I've never been
overjoyed
to
with the
church,
amount of
but I
feeling
really like this.
of this. I'm so happy.
Makes me really happy.
Today at Star Trek
never got
D&D,
the
Mail has strong feelings about Thomas.
Tonight
need
in
to have
Star
a
Trek
talk
D&D, talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
Can we have a Thomas character?
Oh my
Thomas
god.
NPC. Well, I wasn't there, so
Now I'm gonna name somebody Thomas.
Oh, you know who Thomas
Yay.
is?
And he will be a good scientist because he needs empirical evidence.
there we
But
go.
he'll be the one guy on the whole ship who never encountered any hallucinations. He's like, this really happened.
He was sleeping the whole time.
I never saw anything.
You guys all fucking with me here. I didn't see anything. Everybody
Group
said
hallucination or something.
You can't haze me when we're all new. Come on.
Is the Ferengi named Thomas?
that's not enough.
I know.
Not Ferengi enough.
I know.
See if I can come up
I
with
thought
some
it would be
Ferengi
funny.
You could
I know.
probably butcher
Thomas.
that into something
That's too Klingon.
applicable. That's
I'll
right,
think-
that is too Klingon.
I'll think about it.
Boom, ba-dum, dum, dum. Just think about it. Boom, ba-dum, dum.
Such a weirdo. I love you.
What? Fight me. Haven't you ever listened to Limp Bizkit?
Well, I was quoting Flight of the Conchords.
Oh my god, I was quoting Limp Bizkit.
And I think that sums up Mail and Chelsea pretty well.
Oh no.
Forks and knives. Forks and knives sticking out of his knees, he said. Get me forks and knives out of my knees, please.
I fucking love Flight of the Conchords.
Someone remove
I need to watch
me,
more Flight of them.
from my knees.
I know the like Fulafafa song. The Bowie. Fulafafa. 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 Yeah. Something something market bibliotech. I remember because like we used to listen to that all the time in high school, and we would make fun of ourselves because like that's exactly what it sounded like when we were trying to like fill out homework for all like the different exams.
Beautiful.
Oh, bucket. Gerard Depardieu.
Oh, I think you're right, JD. I think that would work. Two mods.
Uh-oh.
Thumas.
That is
Thumas.
definitely Ferengi enough.
Yes.
No.
Nice.
Here we go. We've
guys,
created a Ferengi character that's based off of a biblical figure.
Yep.
Fuck yes, we have.
Go team.
Poor guy has ever since getting a job aboard a Starfleet vessel, everybody is always trying to call him Thomas, and he's like, "It's not pronounced that way.
That
It's
is
pronounced Thuma."
absolutely what happens all through the fuck. He's going to be a crewman, so he's not been in the academy, but you know that all the humans around him are like, oh, it's crewman Thomas. Humans!
Oh my gosh, but the struggle is real. I have so many students where I'm like, Jade, it's Hade. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Freaking Spanish pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Just
My
tell me
people.
what it is. It just makes me think. It just makes me think of the Key and Peele sketch, which if you guys haven't seen, you
Yes.
need to.
Aaron! It's not your name. That is not a real name.
Oh, the struggle is so
I
real,
love
though.
them so much.
I love it. I love it.
I only just recently saw those sketches.
Oh my gosh,
My
they're
other
so
favorite
good.
ones that they do
They're
is
beautiful.
when they're the hotel dudes when they're standing outside.
Yes.
Yes.
Every single one is a fucking masterpiece.
I love it so much.
This is my shit.
I emphasize so strongly with those emotions.
There
That's
is
exactly what goes on in my head whenever something exciting happens.
Oh my gosh,
there has been numerous times that JD and I had moments where we get excited about something and together go into that skit.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
don't feel bad.
No.
No, I've witnessed it. I've witnessed this happen.
Have we done that in front of you?
Yes, of course you have.
God, we're fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was like, oh, that wasn't in the privacy of our own.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I emote that publicly?
Yeah,
We've known
exactly.
each other for almost 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure it's happened at YowieCon at some point. If not YowieCon 2017.
That sounds pretty right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or one of Helen's fucking white elephant gift giveaways.
Man, we could have done it in front of a hotel.
Oh my god! You're right!
It is entirely possible.
Oh shit.
I need a link to this thing now. I haven't seen this.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh my god.
You gotta find the one that's fucking Val Kilmer. The one that they're talking about. Val Kilmer is my favorite.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to hunt it down. I bet it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Water.
Now I'm trying to think of my favorite Key and Peele skit.
Oh my god.
I can't even narrow it down, man.
One of the ones I loved quoting because I had a teacher named Megan.
Oh my god! Yeah.
So every time I would call her, like, Megan,
your jacket. Megan, come
and
on,
I never showed her to her. But now that I'm graduated, I should probably show it to her. That way she understands why I kept turning into a bro when I called her.
Please. God, it's so good.
I showed my grandma the East-West skit, and she loved it.
Oh my god, I
She
love
watches
that.
football, so it's very hilarious to her.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, those are so good.
Mouse Cop. Georgia Tech University.
It
really
starts so normal and then it just escalates.
I have to see this one. I don't think I've seen this one.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna post. I'm posting the Iron Man one. That's the only one that's alone. But then I'm also gonna post one that's got all of them.
Yay!
Oh my god! Yay!
I also really like the church ladies.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I remember the one that's one of the two husbands and they're trying to talk behind their wives' backs.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god! Yeah.
And I was like,
You said that. You said that right there. You said that there. Oh yeah, I did. And I was like, bitch.
Looking all around, make sure no one's listening first.
I love that one so much.
There you go. East-West College Bowl. So good.
Oh my god, those ones make me laugh and breathe.
I'm starting to giggle just like looking at the thumbnail. I can't even click on it.
That's some Pavlovian effect there.
Man.
What's the other one with the guys like, and they're like at that like hip hop dance thing, and like
Oh,
I can't remember what it was that they say.
my god, yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and like that's the only word that they fucking say in this whole thing.
Oh no, this Iron Man one does include Val Kilmer.
Oh,
okay. Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Because they go from the... Fuck, I wish I could remember all the nicknames they give to all of them. So good.
Sally Kilmer's in the Willows, though.
What about the Willows, though? When I first saw that sketch, the whole time I was waiting, I was like, mention Willow. And then when they did, I was like, yes! Oh my god. What about Iron Man, though? Oh my god, the wind is going crazy out there right now, Kim.
Ooh. Yeah, our weather is fucking scary in this.
California.
All right, Robert Downey's Juniors.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. I'm okay. Now I know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the evening. It's just I can watch these videos in the background and laugh myself into oblivion.
So good. I feel like any of us that have like an anime convention history can relate to this energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's so good.
Val Kilmer's.
The whole piece where they're talking about how their careers intersect.
Oh yeah, I love that bit. And you know what's in the middle right there? Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
This makes me so happy.
This is a great bonding moment we're having.
This is a really good bonding moment.
Guys, I think I'm gonna sign off because I want to go have a snack.
That's fine.
Sounds good.
I have to do the laundry. But
That's no fun.
I'm gonna do the laundry, finish my gallery piece, and finish a reply,
Enjoy.
And then flip into bed. Oh,
I believe in you. You got this.
Thank you.
Sleep well when you get there.
I'll be on Discord.
Thank you guys all for a really fun game, and I'll see you in a little less than 24 hours.
Get hype, get hype.
In the meantime, see you on Subspace.
Good night.
Captain, I'm gonna send you a bunch of thoughts on Discord, just real
Do
quick.
it. Send them all.
Okay. All right, cool. Neat. I'll see you guys all later.
Good night.
Bye.
Night. Bye.
Good night, everybody.